What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Matty B, Epis Sports Radio. This is episode 35. WY and I are going to break down the NFL. We're going to talk to you, get you ready for the first NFL weekend. Obviously, the opener was last night. Philadelphia Eagles winning 24-20. A lot to talk about in regards to that game. All right, we'll get you ready for tonight's matchup as well here on a Friday night. All right, we got a full football weekend ahead of us. We're going to give you all our regular season predictions and give our Super Bowl winners as well. We're going to talk a little tennis, talk a little baseball, and whatever else we get into today. All right, thank you for joining us for this beautiful Football Friday. Before we get the show on the road, please like, follow, comment, subscribe, the whole nine. Let us know where you're coming from in the comments. And as always, keep showing up.
I will say to him, you do that, and forget the money, because if you say that getting the money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid. Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
That's right. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Matty B, Epis Radio, episode 35, the NFL prediction. We've made it. Football is back. How about it? It's a beautiful Football Friday. All right, a lot of slated games going on. We're all ready for it. You got Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys opening up the season last night. We're going to get into that. Especially in regards to me, I of course, the one time I do decide to place a bet, of course, it ends up getting foiled, and we'll get into that a little bit too. But Philadelphia Eagles coming out on top, 24-20, dealt with a rain delay for over an hour. Coming out of the second half, each team got a possession, and it kind of stunted the offense for both teams. Real exciting first half, but it just kind of fell by the wayside after that rain delay and ended up finishing late. But before we get into all of that, Dub, how you doing, bro? How's everything? Happy Football Friday. How are you, bro? You look a little low energy today, bro. A little low energy. Did you get your full 8 hours in? What's going on?
No, I didn't. What she got over there?
What happened?
Hold on. I didn't get the full 8 hours of sleep, no, but I'm good. I feel good. I had a run this morning. Everything's beautiful.
Oh, good. How much? How many miles did you do today?
I think I did six on the dot.
Nice.
6 miles. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I have a long day ahead of me, so I'm mentally getting ready for it. But no, I definitely have a lot of energy. It's a long day ahead, long week. I have basically, I go into the UCF campus at 5:30, and I leave when the game starts. Half an hour after the game starts tomorrow night at 7.
Okay.
So I will be on the clock for more than 24.
Okay.
So I'm just getting myself mentally ready.
Yeah, that's tough. That's definitely tough.
Yeah, it is, but it's not. It's light work. It's just showing up.
Yeah.
So to speak. So yeah, man. But definitely football weekend. As the week's gone by, I did a fantasy draft, for the birds, us birds. I did the fantasy draft. I'm really starting to get pumped up about it. 10, 12 days ago, but I'm really getting into it. Even though I'm not going to be able to see, I have work Sunday, I think I'll get the Jets in Pittsburgh in, and I'll be happy for that. So, and see my favorite Titans too, my Tennessee Titans. So I got energy for you, Matt. What we got?
Well, we got a lot. I mean, it's a huge Sports Friday, a lot on the docket. Obviously, big news coming out yesterday. Kawhi Leonard, Steve Ballmer, the LA Clippers in big trouble. If you haven't heard by now, apparently, there was a little under the money table from the Clippers. They tried to circumvent the salary cap and end up, Dub, I hear a little reverb. in the background.
Yeah.
Some catching you. But the Clippers, try to circumvent the salary cap by using this third-party company, this tree planting company that Ballmer was involved with. Well, I have some audio later in the show for that. We could even start talking about it now, but and I'll pull that up for you guys. But he came out, made a statement, and says that he was not in control of this third-party company, that he's not really sure how the endorsements work. He was kind of tiptoeing around it. Pablo Torre, again, at the forefront of this investigation. He seems to be the guy now that just has this type of breaking news, and he's out for blood, it seems like, dude, because there's a little audio from him talking about the Knicks and Jalen Brunson now, and flirting with that possibility that he's going to investigate that. And so it's like, man, and Ballmer actually alluded to that too.
Jimmy Dolan, bro, I could see it with him.
That's what I said. A friend of mine's like, oh, I could see it with Dolan, but I can't see it with Brunson. Yeah. I'm like, bro,
money's money, bro.
Money's money. And the same thing with Leonard. Leonard, he's like saying, oh, Brunson's a stand-up guy. Leonard's kind of shady. I'm like, Leonard's not shady. Like, Leonard, like, he's just been injury prone. He's just been injury prone. You're right, like I'm saying, right, yeah, like, people do crazy shit with money, man. People do crazy shit with money, and like, and now you're hearing...
Listen, Matty, if you're able to get away with it, you're helping the team, and you're getting your money, and you're helping yourself by getting better players, by creating capital.
Yeah.
They did it with the Joe Smith situation, 30s, over 25 years ago, whatever it was, 2000, but that's the last time we've seen it, when the T-Wolves did it, and they were punished severely, but the way they're talking this time is like they're going to bring it down harder than hammer.
Right, right. Rightfully so, it seems like it. But the worst I think that's going to happen is, Leonard probably gets suspended for a bit, and they'll take away draft picks, maybe a huge fine. I don't really see, I don't know. I would say it's significant. Yeah, I would say it's significant enough to affect you for the next 3-4 years, right? Something like that. Probably 3 to 5 years just recouping, because now like once you have draft picks, now it's like you're building then, so it's gonna hurt them. It's gonna hurt them for sure.
You have to put your team together where you're not gonna get draft picks, you're not gonna get younger, you're not gonna acquire young players through the draft, and that'll be tough for a franchise to go 2 for 3-5 seasons,
especially for the Clippers, who weren't necessarily that of a league.
Old as hell already.
Right. So now you're looking like a rebuild situation anyway going forward, because you were uncertain with the future of Leonard and all that, What are you going to do now? Is it all worth it, really?
At first it was rumors. You just sent it to me about 4 or 5 days ago, 6 days ago, or something like that. But it was just like, and then it's picked up steam. Next thing you know, CBS, Fox, ABC, everybody's got it. It's real. It's official.
Right. It's big. And again, Pablo Torre coming out and releasing that, and now, and I have Pablo Torre. We talked about Pablo Torre before.
Refresh my memory, please.
I forget exactly what the instance. He's an investigative reporter. He's got a podcast. I forget exactly what instance we were talking about recently with Pablo Torre.
This guy goes
it was a couple of shows back. Yeah.
He goes in all the crevices and the niches and to find dirt and slime on you. You gotta be, man. This shit is I want to know, like, what's his process, or what did he, what did he have? Obviously, he has people.
Well, he just, it's public access. Like he looks into these company assets, and he's looking into
Kawhi Leonard's name.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what ended up. I have an interview that Pablo Torre did. Again, he provided a bunch of documents.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Cough. Okay. So is it possible? I thought about this since I was a youngster with Joe Smith. Probably, I was thinking to myself, is it possible for you to take a bag of money? Didn't Karolinko? They had rumors that Karolinko did it with Prokhorov years ago with the Nets. There was rumors. Who knows? Some things are substantiated, some things are not. I don't know if you remember that. When Prokhorov ran the big Russian ran the team in Brooklyn.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
But, all right, they used to. Okay, anyway, there was rumors that Karolinko get signed. Andre Karolinko. This is when Pierce and Garnett were there. I think this is the end of Karolinko's career as well. But is it possible where Kawhi could just took the bag of money, like,
Okay.
a big Scrooge McDuck bag of money instead of doing all the leaving his digital footprint? Is that possible? Or are they going to find that out too? I don't like why they put it on they made this transaction digitally. Like,
Yes, but it's on the books,
No, it's official.
Right.
Right?
It's on the books, but it's in good merit that, like, at least, in regards to this whole Kawhi situation, is that, he's getting paid $28 million to, kind of endorse this company, his tree planting company.
And it's Ballmer's company.
Right. He has investments in it. It's not necessarily his company; it's third-party company.
So they really kind of left gray area, though, no?
Not really. I mean, we're getting more and more detail about it now. You see what Pablo Torre has released, and the reason why it's linked to Kawhi is because they opened up an endorsement called KL2, which is presumably Kawhi Leonard and his number. You know what I'm saying? So, and there's a $28 million endorsement with that. Now you see other endorsements in terms of this company. And you see rather large ones as well. But, what you don't see with him is that he never did anything for the company. He never, made any public appearance, never, endorsed it publicly, things like that. Essentially,
it's free money.
It's just right. It's free money just for him,
like
on the right.
You get a construction job you don't go to.
Exactly. So they just try to, it's like, writing it off almost, like trying to, show face. And there's some question marks about this tree planting company anyway. I think that's, because it really, it looks more of like a facade, to just, for, there's a lot of money being moved, around. And
Maddie's teaching, telling me about this now. I'm like, this is, I didn't know about the details of this Kawhi. The tree planting company. Wow.
Yeah, and it's also, it's not even only that, but it's,
if you're an illegal...
Oh, sorry. It begs the question of how many trees are actually being planted with this company. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's really going on? Right. A lot of celebrities, a lot of, companies.
Trees,
right.
Yeah. It's not like we move trees. What do you need all of this? Plant trees, bro. We could go plant some trees now, bro. Probably, I don't know, $100. We probably could plant a couple trees, bro.
All right, so listen to Steve Ballmer. He sits down, all right, with Ramona Shelburne on SportsCenter in regards to these allegations, against the Kawhi Leonard. It's called Aspiration. That's the company, Aspiration. That this is part of this whole tree planting thing. You're gonna hear him talk about it. It's a bit all over the place, honestly, by Ballmer. I don't hear a lot of consistencies in his defense of this whole situation. He really tries to point fingers throughout the whole process. So just take a listen. All right, for the people here, let me just make this screen a little bit bigger for y'all. That's better. All right. There we go. I'll mute. Where are we? Are we muted? Don't mute it. Oh, no. No. I know. You're muting yourself? Okay.
You're invested in the company. It's $50 million as your investment. You're part of the biggest raise that they have as part of the whole building of that company. Then your star player gets a contract for $28 million. He's not required to do anything as part of that contract. He doesn't actually do anything to promote their company. And he signs an extension with you guys right in and around the same time. Like, you can see it looks like what it looks like.
Let's talk to the fans. We signed that deal with Kawhi before any of this. Before Kawhi even knows these people. We've signed our deal. That's high integrity. We made our deal with Aspiration. Literally, I had no control over the company. Literally, even when I invested, I think there was somebody who put in 6 times as much money as I did. No control. And that's okay.
But you see how this looks to the average fan, right? You're invested in the company. It's $50 million as your investment. You're part of the biggest raise that they have as part of the whole building of that company. Then your star player gets a contract for $28 million. He's not required to do anything as part of that contract.
You should understand that. And they went off and made a deal. I don't know what the deal is. I know what the reports are with the speculation. I don't know what the deal is or was. And frankly, I can't even tell you whether it's this much different, that much different, or not different at all from some of the other endorsement contracts that athletes do. In terms of amount, I don't know. I actually don't know the amounts of most endorsement deals. But when you look at Forbes magazine and they talk about the highest paid athletes, many of those top athletes, as Kawhi was a top athlete, is a top athlete, you read those things and they say they make more off endorsements than they do their very large salaries. So I don't know what to expect, but I think the average fan may not either. But we did things by the book, and I don't know what those deals should look like, nor do I know what this one looked like specifically. The average fan should understand.
Yeah,
that.
I see. And that's where it's like, he's just like in complete defense. Oh, this is normal. This is, kind of status quo. We're supposed to, this is how normal endorsements go. I don't know. He's and him to be a big owner. All the money that he's got, did not know what other endorsement deals look like. Like, nah, that sounds like it's just a bunch of nonsense. You have no idea. You have no, regard to how, these things, normally look like and go, and you just say that he done everything by the books. I mean, the guy, again, didn't make an appearance, for this endorsement. Nothing. Like, what's the point of even paying him? Just to put, his name or his face. I don't even think in terms of image or likeness did they even utilize him once. So, how, can you justify the money endorsed for him?
Do you have the date when he got that money?
It was shortly before his contract extension. So I'm sure in the Pablo Torre report it's there. But when did he let's re-sign that deal? Let's see.
He just extended, didn't he? He did.
Let's see. Ah, man, I'm so stupid. Of course I can't do that.
I'm saying, why do they have to do that if they have his bird rights? Right? Why can't they give him? They have his bird rights.
What about it?
Meaning they can do more than anyone else.
Right, but they felt like it wasn't enough. Yeah. Like the whole point is.
What else? It doesn't make sense.
What do you mean, how did they get? Didn't they? I'm sorry, I get confused with the bird rights. Didn't he lose the bird rights by going over there? They still retain bird rights for him.
What do you mean when he goes from Toronto?
Yeah.
He left Toronto in 20.
Right. So
and
how
he signed an extension?
Right. He signed an extension shortly after the endorsement.
No. Forget about the endorsement. We're just talking about the contract and the bird rights real quick, man. He leaves Toronto, goes there for a deal, right? And he doesn't. Toronto had his bird rights. Toronto had the capability of giving him the maximum contract more than any other NBA team because he leaves. Anyway, I thought that when I heard the thing, I think maybe that's when they give him the money because we can't give you as much as them. Here, take this too. But you're telling me it's after another extension. I'm like, I don't understand it because no one else can give him more money than the Clippers can anyway. So why did they do that? Is what I'm saying, Matt.
Are you so sure about that? Because I agree with you. That would not make any sense then.
They have his bird rights. He's been there for 4 years. Everybody has bird rights. You always have bird rights. It's not like you had it once. They have his bird. He's been a Clipper for 5 years. They re-signed him.
He signed in 2019 on a $103 million contract. Then he signed a 4-year, $176 million extension in 2021, and then in 2024, a 3-year, approximately $150.
He's a Clipper.
That he signed. That was the most recent extension.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no team in the NBA can give him more money than them. So what I'm just saying is, why do that? Break the rules and risk all of where we're at now to give him more money? But no one, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand the logic in it. Maybe I'm missing something. But one thing I know for certain is the Clippers no one can offer him more money than that. You understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying. I'm just trying to fact check on that one. I just want to make sure.
Go ahead.
Because you're right. That's a great point. It wouldn't make any sense. I would think that if the Clippers were the team that, could give him the most money, why would it matter? You know what I'm saying?
That's
If
right.
anything, you would be looking at another team.
I thought when I heard it was they did it when he was leaving Toronto. Like, look, take this extra because we only can give you this. Like, if we could have did it with Hartenstein, here, take this. Come back here, and he signs for little, and we got busted. But you know what I mean? But for him to be there, and no one can give him more money anyway.
I'm looking at it now because when you look back in 2019, the Raptors, had his bird rights, so
and he walked away from it.
And he walked away from it, yeah.
That's what I would think. They would do the money thing with him then. But you're telling me they just did it. I'm like, damn, why y'all did that for? He's like 23. When did he do? He just did a new extension, no doubt. 2019 was 6 years ago already. Damn.
And he's got a no trade clause too, new contracts on 3 and 153. Yep. Yeah. By definition, the bird rights are a provision in the MLB's collective bargaining agreement that allows teams to re-sign their own free agents even if they are over the salary cap. But the whole reason, it's not a right. I'm forgetting. Now I'm remembering the whole reason why is because it has nothing to do with the bird rights. It's to circumvent the salary cap. I mentioned that off the top of the show. That's
so how much did he get in the extension? How much did he leave on the table?
In the endorsement, he received $28 million.
No. The contract extension they gave him. Do you have the details of that?
He signed $153 million contract extension in 2024.
3 years.
Okay, yeah, that would have put the Clippers over the NBA salary cap.
But he did sign that. That's what he's got now.
No, yeah, he did sign that. The contract extension he signed because that was okay. That kept them under the cap. In order to give him more money, they had to do what they did with the endorsement, which is what they're being accused of. Because otherwise, it would have put them over the salary cap.
My question, Matt, is the extension. Mm-hmm. Was the extension the maximum extension, or did they leave meat on the bone and then give him that rest of that?
That was what they could give him. Whether or not it was the max contract they could give him, or whether it was the just in terms of salary cap, like they needed to stay under a certain number. That was the number. For whatever reason, maybe that wasn't a number that he liked, and this is what Pablo Torre.
If they give him the maximum extension, he can't really. There's nothing to argue about. Like, here, bro, we gave you all they let us give you. I don't have to because it's not like he can.
It's a matter of staying in LA, of convincing him to stay in LA. Maybe he didn't want to stay there. Maybe he wanted to leave.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he didn't want to really stay there. Maybe he wanted to leave, and not for nothing. If Steve Ballmer and the Clippers are capable of throwing $28 million in endorsement under the table to circumvent the salary cap, then so is another team.
He wanted to go there because he's from there. He's from San Diego, as close as he's going to get.
He was already there for a couple of years. 2019, injury prone, a lot going on.
Right, he's
teams not necessarily. Teams been competitive.
So my thing is, once again, if they give him the maximum extension, if they didn't leave any meat on the bone on the extension, what is he going to do? He's going to walk away from LA and go somewhere else and not be able to make the same money? They still didn't have to give him the money.
See, how do you know that, though? You can't prove that because clearly you can make more money illegally and the wrong way. Through endorsements, through that. That's what this whole investigation's pointing to. That's the whole point.
Without the illegal contract, without the illegal
you're absolutely right.
Where's he gonna go? Say we don't offer him that, like Kawhi, man. You're staying at what? But were they doing? I think Ballmer was just doing him a favor, bro. Really. I don't think it seems like because there's no business wise. Kawhi had no leverage. They have his bird rights. He's in his hometown, and they can give him the most money. Where you going, bro? To Dallas? Take less money?
I completely disagree. I think he has more leverage than you think. You know what I'm saying? What do you mean how? Because the talent has leverage now over these businesses.
He has everything he wants. He already has it. He's gonna. If he
doesn't mean that he wanted that. Maybe it took that extra money on the table to convince him. Maybe it wasn't enough for him. I don't know.
Because
Why
if he
do it in the
doesn't take
first
it,
place?
because
Yeah.
he's going to leave, he's not getting that that same $51 million a year extension. Or is that, it has to be the Clippers had to been able to give him more money under the salary rules. They
Yeah,
had
no
to been able
doubt. That is a fact. We're not. That's not
Okay,
disputed
so the
here.
extension was not the
Yeah.
maximum. There was money left. They could have gave him if he wanted. Like they could give him 60
No,
million per year extension.
I don't know about that. I mean, how much?
It's important.
I guess so. Regardless, I don't think that matters anyway because it was to circumvent the salary cap. That's my whole point. No matter what, 153 million contract extension 2024. That was the max the Clippers could give to stay within the confines of the cap.
If they give him the 153 million maximum, to stay within the confines of the cap, but you read the bird rights, you can give more. Was there more available? Remember, you just said that.
It doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter because it matters about the cap.
It doesn't matter, man.
How does that not matter? They can't go over it, bro. They can't go over it.
Yes, they can. They have his bird rights. They can go over it to sign him. You just read the rules, man. A player you can give an extra year and you can go over up to the NBA threshold maximum money. That's how Curry be making, and Harden's made these contracts over the year. And you see these super contracts every year. These guys get the maximum from their team. And that's what I'm saying.
It says free agents, though. He wasn't not a free agent.
No, we talking about extension. Curry's been getting them fucking
under the definition of the bird rights is that they need to be a free agent.
So you can't give them the maximum. Yes, you can. The bird rights, you can your own player.
I'm reading it right here. He says re-sign their own free agents.
Bird rights are for your own free agents.
He's not he wasn't a free agent.
Oh, it was an extension.
It was an extension. As far as I understand it.
I just need to know if they could have gave him more money within the rules. If they left a window
apparently
open,
not, bro. That's the whole investigation. This is what Pablo Torre is talking about. It's all over the news. It's to circumvent the salary cap. That was it. You know, that's the whole reason.
I don't see how I don't understand how they're circumventing the salary cap.
Because they couldn't give him any more. That was it. That was where they were at in terms of the cap. That's part of it. That's why you're seeing a $28 million endorsement. They believe that's linked to circumventing the salary cap. That's the whole finding in all of this. I don't know how else I got to explain it. You have bird rights, yes, but he was not a free agent. He signed an extension. So as far as I understand, that doesn't apply here. The bird rights situation, they would have to let him go to free agency, to hit free agency before that necessarily applies. They did not. That's it. And again, you know, they were already capped out. Look at all the rest of the contracts they had. You know, that's it. You know, so you know, and this is the findings of Pablo Torre in that report, the KL2. You see $28 million endorsement, you know, and then shortly after, signing that extension. That's the fishy part of it all, you know, is that, okay, you know, you do this endorsement and, you know, conveniently enough, you know, now you have the proper number in which, okay, we'll pay you this. You know, here's your extension for that.
They have early bird rights. A team can re-sign a player for up to 4 years if they have spent 2 consecutive seasons with the team. So they have early bird rights. Okay, I'm not losing my mind. A team can re-sign non-bird rights. We're not talking about non-bird rights. I don't know. Ballmer's weird, man. It just doesn't make sense that they did that. Like, it doesn't benefit. Like, how much did they save in the cap? I don't even see how they save money in the cap, to be honest. 10 million, 5. And this is for a player who wasn't even going to be a free agent, who had a year or 2 left. And maybe he was threatening them. I don't know. You're right. I don't know that part. I don't know what he was saying to them. But there's always going to be a little leverage for the player. I'll say that. But they had a lot of leverage with him. It's not like he's plays number 1, number 2. I don't know what they're doing over there anyway. What the hell are they doing over there?
I have... Another audio, and I mentioned this before, Pablo Torre kind of talking a little bit about the situation, and then mentions the Knicks and Jalen Brunson and some involvement there. I'll check that out for you guys.
His contract extension, right?
What happened?
This is for Jalen's recent contract extension, correct?
No, for getting him to the Knicks. I don't.
Okay. Person gets outed. Now all of a sudden it feels like it's safe to out other people.
Yeah.
Hold on. No, I had it playing. I muted you. What's up? Yeah, you want to read that off?
You ready?
Yeah, you're right. I'm ready for it.
Okay, the early bird rights in the NBA allow teams to extend contracts for a maximum of 4 years or shorter duration than 5 years, typically allowed under bird rights. This extension is subject to a cap hold of 130% of the player's previous salary, which is significantly less than the cap hold for bird players, who can have their cap hold range from 150 to 300% of their previous salary. See, this is what you're talking about. This is where the early birds rights, you just had to bring that up. And we just, this is it. Rights offer teams the chance to maintain roster continuity without being penalized for going over the cap to retain their own talent. So, they save a little cap space with the extension. So it's like refinancing the house, right? So to speak. But they create cap space with the bird with re-signing. But there's, like I said, you over here telling me there's no bird rights, it's an extension. I'm like, am I losing my mind? But anyway, regardless.
I'm not saying there's no bird rights. We agreed that he has bird rights, but it again.
Early bird rights for contract extensions, re-signing, not having hit free agency. They have early bird rights.
But the numbers are just different on it. Okay.
They're different. And no, this is where what you're saying.
Again, it still applies where it's to circumvent the salary cap.
What you're saying plays. What you're saying plays because early bird rights is supposed to help you create cap space or save little cap space. It's not much. But,
All right, I have audio of Pablo Torre here talking, about the whole Knicks situation. Little nice clip for you guys. Let me play that.
Person gets outed. Now all of a sudden it feels like it's safe to out other people.
Yeah. The difference here, and by the way, it's funny, like my tip line has never been more used by enemies of Jalen Brunson. Right, like look into that one, right? As well as James Harden.
Is there something in there with Jalen Brunson?
Well, look, how he arrived at the Knicks. This is where I will have to defer to the reporting I may or may not do on this. Certainly was interesting, right? Like, okay, that's a pretty good deal for the Knicks. Has some whatever. Anyway, I don't want to get ahead of myself in terms of
that's a tease, though. That's a tease.
It's a bit of a tease. Okay. Yeah, I'm showing a little ankle with you. I always show a little bit more ankle than I should with you.
Talk. Once the first, person gets outed, now all of a sudden it feels like it's safe to out other people.
So, heard Pablo Torre talking a little bit like that.
You fucking rodent.
I mean, damn. You feel that strongly about him? Wow. Okay.
I mean, we do journalism and all that, but I'm still from around the way, bro. He's a rodent.
All right. I disagree. I think he has his place.
Yeah, he has his place, no question. And the world needs guys like him.
For sure.
I didn't say they don't. The world needs mice too.
It's pretty disrespectful to call him a rodent, though.
He's not a good guy. Guys like that ain't good guys, bro.
I don't know about that. I don't know the guy. I can't speak on it, bro. I mean,
just his job, bro. He's a piece of just his job. Who does that when it get up and blow people's covers?
Yeah, you need that. You know, that's what I'm saying. You need that in politics. You need that in regular journalism, sports journalism.
I acknowledge that. Before you said it, I said that. These guys like him are necessary. We need guys like him in the world. But it doesn't mean he's not a guy.
It has nothing to do with him being a good guy.
Be a good guy. You have a good personality, and that's your thing. I'm going to go undercover. You can't even trust a guy like that.
He's doing it for the betterment of the league and all that. You know, like to keep things within the rule. If you didn't have people that police it, then then it would just be straight up chaos.
Bro,
I think that take is wildly off.
It's my opinion. Yeah. It's not a take.
Yeah, I mean
it's an opinion. I don't think he's not a good guy. If you can have a personality where I'm going to go, anyone who wants to go undercover and act like something else, that's not a good person.
I disagree. 100% disagree.
Bro, like the guy, I was watching Donnie Brasco the other day. Donnie Brasco. I know these guys are criminals, they're mobsters, and they're murderers. I get that part. But he knew those, and he stood for crime, upholding the law. Great. And I respect that. I have no problem with the law. But when he went undercover, he set these guys up and he made friends with them for 7 years, eating with them, chilling with them, and he knew they would be killed. When he got fired again, he's a hero. He's the same kind of guy. You told it a bad take, it's my opinion. He's not a good guy. What's his name?
Pablo Torre.
Torre. All right. I got him. I'm going to watch him.
I mean, all right. I still 100% disagree. I think,
guys like him.
You don't even know the guy. You can't speak on that. You can't say
I can tell. I wouldn't want to be friends with someone like that. What do you do, bro? Yeah, I go undercover and fuck people up. Oh, okay.
You go undercover and fuck people up for doing illegal things. God forbid.
All right, cool.
Yeah, right, cool. What kind of shit is that, bro?
I want to be friends with people.
Oh my god! I don't know, bro. That's a wild take.
So you think Donnie Brasco is a good guy?
I'm not saying anything about Donnie Brasco. It's different from Pablo Torre.
It's the same kind of mindset. Do you think he was stopping killers? Which is admirable.
Right.
Stopping to,
sure.
He was setting them up to be killed.
That's a whole different scenario. That's completely different.
It's the same cloth.
No, it's not. Now, how is that any? No, that is. No, it's not.
Bro, we gotta keep it up,
like
I'm
saying,
maybe you.
Where are you going with that? How is that even remotely the same?
The guy was scumbag and you started defending him, and I'm like, nah, I think the guy's trash. I think he's cool that he did that, and I don't have a problem with what he uncovered and all that. But the guy, the individual, that's his job. I'm gonna go under here. This is my job. He's walking around with his magnifying. Get the fuck out of here, man. This guy, man, he's not a hero.
Okay.
He's a whistleblower, bro. He's a whistleblower.
I mean, okay, whatever. I look at it completely differently, but all right.
And that's fine with me. Yeah. But he said my shit is a bad take. My thing.
I do. I 100% disagree. I think that's a terrible take.
I don't look at it like I don't look at it the way you see it. As I just think that's how you're. And a lot of people I'm around wouldn't agree with it either.
I would disagree with them too. I mean, that's literally the epitome of judging a book by its cover. The guy's just doing a job, and he's doing a damn good job at investigative journalism.
Judging by its cover is looking at his shoes.
It is. You don't know the person. You have no idea how Pablo Torre might be a cool dude. It has nothing to do with his character or who he is.
No,
it does not. It literally. That's literally. I mean, people. I can't even get into millions of different examples of fucking how that is so off base. I mean, you're literally just judging the person. You never talked to him. You don't know him.
I'm not judging him by looking at him. That's judging someone by the cover. He opened the book up and showed us kind of part of his character. He just went so far. I'm going to go find more.
Bro, he's exposing criminal activity in sports. Why is that a problem?
He's going to go investigate innocent people. He might just like the lawyer, the Busby guy. These guys are all slime balls.
I guess. I disagree. I think that's really having tunnel vision and keeping it confined into just one category of person, and
No.
I think that's irresponsible. I think that's an irresponsible
No,
take.
the guy,
Like,
yo, bro. Certain people, once they're doing this, I'm not dealing. I'm not. You get away from it. I'm not. He's not a good guy. He's an investigative reporter. You know, he's not a good guy.
as if investigative reporters cannot be good people. But okay,
No,
you know.
I would say.
I mean,
Are you
you just
saying-
said it. You just said it. You just said it. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You
I didn't
just
say
said
he's
that.
no. I didn't say that. You
Yeah.
replied. I said he's not a good guy. He's an
All right, we can
investigative
play back
reporter.
the
You
tape.
said
That's
what I said.
okay. That's okay.
I didn't. You said. I said that. I said he's not a good guy. He's an investigative reporter. That's what I said. He's not a good guy, but he's an investigative reporter.
Okay.
That's it. You
Okay,
don't know
maybe
that,
I take-
bro. This guy, man, it's like paparazzi, man. Same kind of slime ball cloth. They run cameras, piece. They Princess Diana died because of these guys. You know what I'm saying? They just fucking intrude people. The world needs them because we need these pictures. But all of these people, there's a lot of occupations. I look at that like, no.
Yeah, investigative journalism is not one of them, but okay.
No,
There's been some
his
amazing
kind of
investigative journalism.
His kind of journalism, I'm not going through the whole broad spectrum of investigative journalism. Him, just his whole thing, how he's coming, his whole attitude, he's talking shit, he's all pumped up, he's got a boner over it. Good for you, buddy. Enjoy your direction. Go beat it off. Go get Kawhi and Ballmer. Go get everyone. God bless you.
Oh, man. Jesus Christ. All right. Moving on. Football. All right. That's enough with Pablo Torre and the whole situation. I'm sure we're going to hear more and more about it. You know, there's going to be, like you said, he's got a bit of a boner right now. So
he's pumped up. Oh, yeah.
So,
relax.
Gino, good morning, bro. Yes, we are
You're
on
nailing-
it, baby. Thank you for
You're
showing
nailing
up,
people
as
to
always.
the cross, bro. You're nailing people to the cross. Good for you. I mean, maybe the guy deserved to be up there, but I'm not gonna nail him. You wouldn't even want to do it.
Gino, Dub's on another level right now. I just had this wild take on Pablo Torre. I don't know if you heard it, but oh,
He said I got a
man.
wild take. He said I got a wild take.
I'm sorry, 100%
No.
disagree. But all right. Anyway, moving on. This is an NFL prediction show.
Popping champagne in the break room. Yeah, we got bro. Yeah. Shut up. Get the fuck out of here. You're fucking. All right, let's move on, bro. Let's go to the NFL. That's what we, where we going here.
NFL season 2025 is back. All right, it opened up with the Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys last night. All right, a great first half. We even got a little crazy action, couple of seconds in, man. Spitgate 2025. Jalen Carter, Dak Prescott, after, not even one play in, and here we go after the kickoff, little scuffle. Apparently Prescott, and I'll show you video of that shortly. It appears that we find this out later in the game, after the second half, after the rain delayed the whole night. We went back, played the tapes, and then we see that Dak Prescott actually spit. He was the first spitter in all of this. We thought it was Jalen Carter just being a savage, even though Jalen Carter, great player. Second team All Pro Bowl,
NFL
Pro Bowl,
Man of the Year.
Just great. Probably they're
NFL
one of their
Man of the Year, Eagles.
One of their best defensemen, if not the best, right? They definitely need him in this game, and to start off the season, he gets kicked out, unsportsmanlike conduct for spitting on Dak Prescott's chest, all right, and up close, personal. We find out later, like I just mentioned, that Dak did in fact spit in the direction of Jalen Carter, but he was at least a couple of feet away. I would say 6 to 10 feet away at the time of the spit accusation, and it didn't really seem like it was intentionally trying to hit Jalen Carter, but Carter seemed to have taken some offense to that. Thought that maybe it was intentionally towards him, got up close and personal, and then spit on Dak himself. So we'll play video for both of that. All right, and it ended up a wild, chippy game overall. First half definitely had the action. After that rain delay, took a little bit of the steam out the game. But man, oh man, was it some good stuff. Yeah, good way to open up the season right here. Let me just make sure my camera angle's good for you guys. There it is. Okay. Here is Dak and Carter. This is when Carter spit on Dak. So this is the first thing.
Chris, that's, first of all, I got to be 5-yard line.
Conduct. Defense number 98.
We're going to play that backfield.
Number 98, defense actions has disqualified him from the game.
Whoa.
Seconds in.
Whoa. Or a
15-yard penalty. There's the spit again.
Chris.
Nice,
That's-
loogie.
First of all, I got to be
You
5-yard
see the
line.
like trainer over there too, like holy
Defense number
shit, did that
98.
just happen?
Number 98,
His eyes just turned. He's like,
has disqualified him from the game.
Whoa.
15-yard
what is
penalty.
going on?
Whoa. Or a snap.
Yeah, he just spit
Early
on him.
conduct.
You know, is this there's more
Defense number
audio
98.
on this.
Number 98, defense actions has disqualified him from the game.
Whoa.
Yeah, just a wild way to start this game.
So
not what
Jalen
you
Carter,
expect.
the focus and the
Definitely
star for the
benefited,
Cowboys,
you know,
for the
Dallas,
Eagles on
obviously
the front
taking
line,
Carter out this
out for the game
You know,
before
Carter's the type of
snap.
guy
Here he goes. He walks
that
there.
You see it here
in front
from
of
a
Dak
different angle
Prescott.
again. Nice.
Did he spit?
There
Did
goes
he
the flag.
spit on
Did
him?
he spit? I'll play some other audio. I'll play the other clip for you guys as well. I just got to find it real quick of Dak spitting on Carter. But Carter, you know, the type of guy that, you know, most teams end up double teaming just to negate his ability, you know. So, you know, he requires a lot of attention, you know, and for him to be gone right off the bat here in this game, huge advantage for Dallas, and it seemed to be working because it seemed like they changed up their scheme real quick in order to cater to the situation, and they were running the ball seamlessly, you know, for a bit there. Dak, though, not mobile for whatever reason all night long. Not really sure why they didn't go that route, especially in the second half. Switch it up a little bit. Didn't really make any sense to me. But you just didn't see him run at all last night. But in the first half, they were moving the ball, doing their thing. Obviously, much different story in the second half. I'll try to find that other clip for you guys of Dak. No, I have it somewhere. But yeah. Oh, here it is. I got this one right here. There's Ballmer again. All right.
And Dak
There's the
spits down towards the
Dak
ground, but in the direction of the Eagles, with Carter who had walked over there. And that begins the interaction of the two.
Okay.
Prescott's spit was down, Carter was offensive lineman. And Dak spits down towards the ground, but in the direction of the Eagles, with Carter who had walked over there. And that begins the interaction of the two. Prescott's spit was down, Carter was offensive lineman. And Dak spits down towards the ground, but in the direction of the Eagles, with Carter who had walked over there. And that begins the interaction of the two. Prescott's spit was down, Carter was offensive lineman. And Dak spits down towards the ground.
On Carter doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't intended for him. You know what I'm saying? So, needless to say, this is one hell of a chippy way to start off the season. You know, and against two divisional rivals, two teams that we'll get into the predictions soon. But two teams that obviously going to be on top. Philly, again, one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Dallas, I think they're going to be better. They clearly showed you something last night, at least offensively, after the Micah Parsons trade. How can they be better defensively? Then again, they were so terrible last year. It's hard to repeat that. But, I don't know. You would think in the absence of Parsons, this defense is not going to do it. If they're going to win, if they're going to be successful, Dallas, they have to do it on offense. Starts with Dak and those guys. And, a couple of big drop balls late, didn't go their way. It's like, more of the same, kind of a letdown from Dallas. Your thoughts, Dub, on the Spitgate, 2025 to open up the season?
I didn't see the game, Matt, but
Okay.
I watched as much. I got as much input from it as I could, to Monday morning quarterback it. As far as the spitting incident, Dak spits a lot all the time, I guess. But like you said, You know, these guys are all pumped up. They're jacked up at the line. He saw the spit flying. He's like, fuck that, you know, probably. Then he wanted it to be for him. Jalen wanted the spit to be for him. He wanted to, you know, in my opinion, these guys are jacked up, bro. Eagles, Dallas opener, jacked. Yeah. And, you know, it happened, you know, definitely unfortunate. But the Eagles still got away with it because, like you said, the most thing when we were speaking is that I got that stood out to me was when you were talking about Jalen Carter's impact on the Eagles defense. This guy doesn't have to get tackles even. He just commands a double team and it just opens opportunities for everyone. He doesn't have to get a tackle or a sack, and he could really affect the football game. He's that kind of player. And then they lost him, and like you said, Dallas made some adjustments. But then the football gods came for the Eagles and dropped a storm on him, and then that didn't matter either. So now they're playing in a mess. Like you said, there was an hour delay, maybe more. That's ridiculous.
It was an hour and 4 minutes,
That anyone can come out and it's a close game. Anything can happen after that. And the teams are not even in their own regular. They're not themselves. Let's say that. Right. So
now, Gino saying there was a second spinner. Yeah, those honestly, Gino, it made me laugh when I seen your comment. Because that was the first thing I thought of when I'm watching this game last night. I was locked in. I was loving it. And you coming out of this rain delay, then they show it on TV. There was a second spinner. You know, Dak spin. It's like Seinfeld. I'm like, oh my God. Like, what's going on? You know, so Spitgate 2025 all of a sudden. It's great, man. It's good cinema. But it was kind of a dud of a second half, though. So it was like, and again, like you just mentioned, Dub, you know, like, they come out of the second half, each team gets a possession, nothing happens, then you have this suspension, an hour suspension. So now it hurts both teams because you're already cold coming out of the halftime. You try to get ramped up right for that.
You just want to get out of there now because you can get hurt. Right. It's terrible. It's a bad spot.
To get ready for a third time now, that's tough. You know what I'm saying? You get ready before the game. You get ready for the, you know, after coming out of the halftime. Now you leave an hour delay. Now you got to get ramped up again. That's tough. You know? From
the moment that Spitgate happens to that delay, this is not even the same people anymore. That was such an eternity ago.
And now it's late.
You know, they were,
late.
Dying. Come on, you know.
And you've seen it.
Wet.
Yeah, the weather was pretty good in the second half, but after the delay,
I'll tell you, Matty B. You told me before we got on. You told me about your little $30 venture and shit. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was at work yesterday and I was pissed because I didn't take the overs.
Okay.
Because I didn't get it in.
Yeah.
And I'm over there like, fuck, you know, I'm like, oh man, you know, because in my heart, and you guys know it, you guys are NFL guys, that Thursday night game, the Super Bowl champion always wins it, almost always wins it, and they always gonna get 30, 31. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, we can get 16, you can get the overs.
Right.
You're gonna get some shootout.
Yeah.
Cornerbacks are still trying to get their feet under them. You know, cornerbacks are always at a disadvantage, so they're gonna try to, you know, the offense is ready faster than defense is a lot of times. Because it's, you know, speed and, you know, so you were right to take the over, my friend.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's why I went for it.
But of course, that the Rays game for
fucking Mother Nature, man. I mean, it's kind of absurd when you break it down. You know,
you couldn't get me 10 points between two teams. I know the Rays there. I've seen guys score 30. You couldn't get me 10. Yeah. You couldn't get me 7 more.
The over that I had was 47 and a half. All right.
47 and a half. That's
47 and a half. So at the half.
17-14?
All right. No. It was, I'm sorry. It was 41 points.
Right. Come on.
41 points total at the half. Okay. I'm thinking, and I had Barkley. I had Barkley and over to Barkley to score a touchdown. He already had his touchdown in the first half. So I'm sitting there like, you know, all right, baby, there you go. It's all good. Then this Mother Nature shit comes, and I just knew it. I had a feeling. I couldn't.
We're not getting it in the third quarter or the fourth. We're not going to.
It was bad, and like the field goal already happened before the delay, so Now you come out of delay and nobody scores. That was it. Just literally zero.
When did it hit
Zilch.
you, though, Matt?
It was
when
late
did you
in the
say,
third.
yo, we're going to third quarter? You was like, yo, they're not going to get anything.
I started to realize early fourth. I was like, nobody's scoring.
They're not. Yeah.
I'm like, nobody's scoring. Because nobody was moving the ball. Nobody was moving the ball. And all it required was one touchdown.
Yeah.
One touchdown would have won it, you know?
Two more kicks.
And nope, just the way the flow of the game, how they're punting back and forth. Nobody's gaining any ground. Good punting. Good special teams all of a sudden. Right. It's just, you know, the field conditions were good. It wasn't really like, it wasn't rainy, you know, like after the delay. Like, it was good.
I think coaches pulled them off the gas because you don't want them to get hurt.
And these players,
like, fuck it, you win or lose.
And these players, I think a lot of the momentum just, you know, was sucked out of that stadium, and just, you know, the crowd wasn't in it anymore. It was just one of those weird games, you know what I'm saying? Even like down the stretch, you know, in the big defensive spots, I felt like it wasn't as loud as it could potentially be, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it just seemed to take a lot of steam out of the game, in my opinion. And, you know, of course, you know, and I don't bet a lot. You know, but I like to bet, you know, first game of the season or, you know, all-star game, not all-star game, not a football, or, you know, like a Super Bowl, playoff game, whatever. I like to bet the big game. So this is, you know, opening night. Like, I like tonight's game because it's in Brazil. It's a little, by the way, shout out Santos FC. All right. I'm wearing the shirt for a reason, by the way. I'm going to talk about that. Brazilian soccer club. All right. Football. That's, I believe, 8:20 tonight.
Mm.
Yeah, let me get this off the screen there. Yeah, I believe that's 8 o'clock. I think 8:20 by the time, you know, 8:10 by the time festivities. Kansas City Chargers tonight. Kansas City -3.5. This one on YouTube tonight. I had to watch the game last night on freaking Peacock.
You can get it for free on YouTube, right?
I had to watch it on the cock last night. I believe both Peacock last night and YouTube were offering free. I'm not sure on that though. I have YouTube. Well, actually, we'll find out. I have Hulu TV, so we'll find out. I'm pretty sure YouTube should be free. I can't see them, and it's in Brazil. That would be. You don't need a YouTube Live.
You sent me that reel with Charles Barkley, wasn't it? Or was it with Gino? One of you guys sent me a reel with Barkley talking about the TV contracts.
I believe I sent it to you. I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah.
Right, and the same thing with the NFL. Eventually, they're going to beat the hell out of the fan. They're going to squeeze too much juice out of us. It's not going to happen now next year.
What do you mean in terms of all the streaming services and things like that? I mean, the
NBA is crazy already. They signed 5 different places, and they got an 11-year deal. That's crazy.
Problem is, I think it hurts them a little bit. I think they're going to start to realize that, you know, or it doesn't really matter. These endorsement deals are so free, you know, whatever it is they're getting, you know, partnering with these companies.
You know, they're not going to get the ratings will go down. They're going to get money from other people and they won't care. But when the fans stop caring, that'll eventually.
I suppose so. I don't know if it's so much so that, because, you know, you look at it, you know, they're doing it through all these streaming services, and they're doing, you know, these streaming services, you know, it's all subscription based. So I think, you know, when these streaming services sign these contracts with the conglomerates, the NFL, you know, NBA, you know, MLB, you know, it's a lot of this money gets generated anyway through these subscriptions, through these other microtransactions. You know, it's not necessarily about the person in the individual showing up that night to watch that specific game on that streaming service. It's more so to just generate traffic on these streaming services in general, because you could always go back and play it, you know, even if it's not live, you know. So I think the numbers are going to look differently, but ultimately I think it's going to benefit both parties, you know, the NFL, the sports, the sports teams, you know, sports ownership, you know, NFL, you know, MLB, NBA, NHL. I think they're going to get their money. I think these streaming services are going to get the traffic they need to generate more, you know, income and revenue for them. So I don't know. You know, maybe it's weird. What I think it needs to happen is I think we need to get away from these individual streaming services. You've seen it now with these package deals.
I don't think people are gonna say, okay. It's like I got Peacock. I had Peacock because I like wrestling, WWE, and I like being able to look at 1989 wrestling if I feel like it. I like that shit, so I buy it.
Right.
And my old man got it. It's still shareable over
It's expensive,
another household, so it
man.
works. It is, but my old man likes it, and it's so I got it though. But I would. But now at this point, there's a lot of people who are like, I have this one, I have that one, I don't have this one, I don't have that one, I do got this. They don't want to get the other
people
ones
that
now.
own a lot of them, which is like me.
Right,
I own pretty much all of them.
There's still some more. That's God, man. Oh my God.
I'm paying
man.
subscriptions for all of these. I'll run it down for you right now. Like it's insane. On top of what I like Peacock, Apple, Hulu. I don't pay for you.
Apple I get for free.
You
watch Apple TV?
I do watch Apple TV. I was watching it last night. I got Apple. I got Paramount. We got Disney. We got Peacock. We got
HBO Max. I got that.
Right. We got the HBO. Was it Paramount, Peacock? I know I'm forgetting some. Hulu. Netflix. Definitely have Netflix. There's another one. Thinking I have ESPN Plus because I have Disney Plus, so I have all that. I get it through like bundled. I do not have YouTube TV, but I pay for Hulu TV, which is $80 a month. That's my cable. That's my
a
cable.
lot of TV. How much are you spending? Over $200 a month on TV?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, which makes no sense anyway because might as well just pay for fucking cable at that point because. And I'm paying on top of that, I'm paying Wi-Fi. So, you know.
Some of this stuff isn't on cable. I gotta get you there. Some of this stuff isn't on cable.
Where's my illegal cable, by the way? You're supposed to send that a while ago.
I don't know anything about illegal.
Actually, did you hear about that Stream East, that website company, that third-party company that got taken down?
Pablo's going to do investigative, and he's going to shut down our $30 streaming service.
No, Stream East is down. Is down. You heard about that, huh?
No, I'm still good, man. My guys are not in this country.
I'm not talking about yours, but I'm talking. You hear about Stream East?
Why are they down, Matt?
Oh, they got the owners of Stream East, the guys who run it. They got like raided on, and they got popped. Yeah. So the website's down. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You can get. First of all, there's two ways they go down. All right, I'm gonna break it down. Two ways. One, they're taking money and they're not paying taxes and reporting it, and they find out, or they're streaming too close to the time lap, like the buffer period between. See, there's a certain amount of time where you're stealing TV. So if it's like a minute or a minute and a half or 2 minute delay, I think you're good. I don't know the exact number, but there's a FCC 1968 act of it. They want to change this thing. Because they know what's happening.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of Canadian and Mexican streamers. They don't give a shit. It's like, China and team, just like China on fucking, in the, when they're on, what's the name of that website where they sell you the stuff? Shine and all that shit. They're going to do whatever they want. They can take an invention. They don't have to go through anything. So same thing with this. They don't care about the FCC rules. But eventually, they're going to stop that shit, bro. People have been getting free cable for 50 years. Right? You ever heard of them? There's always a way.
I suppose I have not been getting free cable for 50 years. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because you were cool with guys like Pablo Torre. That's why. Guys like that, you're friends with the guy, that kind of guy. No one's going to tell you shit.
I can't. Oh, yeah. All right.
No, really though, I don't like this shit. This $250 Maddie B spending. I got nephews and nieces over there. We're gonna sort it out. I promise you. And if I don't say anything, you bring it to me. Like, yo, E, you said, I got you, bro. All right, we're gonna get you straightened out. That's my word.
Sounds good.
I just heard the numbers. Oh.
I just heard the numbers. Yeah, when I start to hear the numbers myself, I'm like, God damn, I gotta start on top of everything else I'm paying. My Jesus.
Netflix went up again.
Yeah.
Netflix is tough.
Yeah.
But I have
Apple went up too. Apple went up. Netflix went up. These little shiesty scumbags, man.
Eventually, they're going to make it so, like Netflix, everyone's gonna have the household, where you can't share passwords outsdside the crib.
Well, they're already doing that. They're already doing like Hulu. Hulu Live does that.
Peacock won't do it yet.
Hulu does it. You have to change your address, and Disney does it as Hulu.
Oh, well, they offer you 3 account holders, so I guess that's okay. After
Yes,
that,
they offer you the account holders, but in terms of like for the live TV, so say like I go up to Lake Placid. I'm going up to Lake Placid soon in 23 days, right? Or I say 20 something days, 22 days.
I'm still here, Matt. I'm still here.
You know, when I go up in 22 days, I'm gonna try. I'll want to watch my Hulu, whatever, connect everything to the TV. I can't watch my Hulu live, so the cable service that I pay for through Hulu on the TV, I can only watch the app, whatever is available to you on the app. But they will not let me watch the live TV unless I change the address to that specific address at the time. And you're only allowed to change the address like once or twice, like a year or some shit like that. Yeah.
So I thought about you last night. I didn't think about you when you text me, and you texted me. We were texting. You texted about Cam from the Yankees.
Yeah.
Big Cam, and I was like, yeah, Matty giving him his props finally. And I said, I'm gonna give Matty some slack because Matty really don't even see the Yankees like that. And I was like, you don't even see them like that.
I can't. I have no way of watching them.
Yeah, but if you would have seen it, you would have been though. You'd be like, yo, who the fuck?
I mean, I watched them. I seen the highlights, but I needed to see more. I watched the Yankees, bro. I watched the highlights all the time.
When I got that video of, I can go back on the screen. Put this up. When I watched that video you sent me of the Mets phenoms, and you see the movement, and their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You see the movement and the pop they have on their shit,
Yeah.
And that's how I felt about Cam when I said it was the same thing when I saw those guys. Like, damn, this Jonah kid, he really can't say he's not all that. I wouldn't. You can see the pictures, bro. It's dynamite. And Cam does the same kind of vibe. And he's got 6'6", he's a bulldog. So like you said, he's gonna rejuvenate them. But we have to get some preview though, right, Matty?
What happened?
We're gonna have to get in this preview soon, Matty. I'm gonna get out of here.
I was just getting there. I know. Oh, it's right. You're leaving at 1 o'clock. I did forget about that. All right, let's move on. I did want to, before we get into our NFL predictions of the year, I did want to, hear your take on the game tonight real quick. If you have any thoughts on that Kansas City Chiefs, Sao Paulo game down in Brazil. What up? Shout out Santo FC. All right.
No doubt.
Real quick before I forget. All right, Santo FC. The reason why I'm wearing the shirt. All right. I know you don't know much about soccer, but do you? I'm sure you've heard about Neymar.
Yeah, of course I know Neymar.
All right,
yes.
So Neymar Jr. All right, is now playing for Santos FC. This is his childhood.
He used to play in Europe.
Used to play in Europe, long time, right? Big, played with a lot of top tier teams, moved around quite a bit as well. Phenomenal player.
Didn't he take money from the Saudis?
Yes, and most recently last year took money for the Saudis. Only played there for a year. And here's this, okay? Let me check real quick on the numbers. Real quick.
That Saudi guy, yo, he never. Go ahead, though. I'm sorry.
Real quick on the Saudi contract, for him.
This guy, I tell the guy, that's ridiculous.
It was reportedly $100 million in salary for him. Neymar only played 7 games and scored 1 goal, and he basically limited because due to a severe knee injury. Ended up leaving. Comes back to his hometown, Brazil, plays for his hometown club, Santos FC, right? That's where he is right now. Recently,
did he fulfill that commitment? The 7 games, was that the $100 million for a year? He's good.
He just walked. So soccer players could do whatever the hell they want. Doesn't matter. If they want to leave, they could go. Another team could pay him, and he could go. Yeah, it doesn't. They play by their own freaking accord. They really, especially top tier players, forget about it. So he goes there, all right. And the reason why I'm bringing him up, and as well, I wore the shirt today because he was in the news. Apparently, a big time Brazilian billionaire recently passed away. Guy doesn't have any family. Guy doesn't have any brothers, sisters, parents gone. Not really, I guess. Apparently not close with anybody. decides to leave nearly $1 billion in Neymar's name in his will. And the reason being is because he apparently appreciated the relationship that Neymar had with his father. And he mentioned, which is, which I think is a bunch of nonsense. And the guy's,
this is crazy. I can't believe any of this.
And the guy's an idiot for saying is that, that he basically alluded to Neymar not really caring about the money, during his playing career, which is hilarious to me because he just left top tier, football to go play in the Saudi league for a year for money. And now apparently he's inheriting nearly. It's in Brazilian money, but it's when
the guy said that in his will that Neymar doesn't care about money in the will. The dead guy says it.
Yeah. There was a line, a specific quote. I don't have it right now, but that was basically. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what basically he's saying. I couldn't find that.
Maybe they're lovers.
Couldn't find that funnier. Obviously maybe Brazilian guy. Back home. He's obviously one of the top Brazilian players all time. Not the best, but top. And, this guy apparently loved him to death and decided, hey, let's let the rich get richer, apparently. I don't know.
He's a fan. They were friends. They were lovers.
No, apparently they never known. Never met the guy. Never met. Nothing. Never met.
That guy's a weirdo. That billionaire's a weirdo.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of legal issues that is going to be involved with this because there people saying there's going to be a lot of legality. It's a lot of money, so it's not like they're just going to hand it over to him and all that. So there's going to be an investigation of some sort. I mean, I would think he gets something. Maybe Neymar just does I would like to see Neymar, if he does end up getting the money, just donate it to charity or something, bro. You don't need the freaking money, bro.
Bro, he's not doing that.
I know, but I would like to see that. I hate the fact that the billionaire itself, you have that much money that literally can probably put an end to world freaking hunger. I mean, you got a genocide going on in Gaza right now as we speak that nobody loves to talk about.
As much as it would, but it wouldn't because as soon as it gets to wherever, it's just going to get picked apart before it gets to the hungry
whatever,
people.
Man. I hate the fact that this is.
But I get the sentiment, but I mean,
it's
the
just
world's not like
terrible.
that, man.
I know. Unfortunately, it's not. You're right. You're absolutely right. But yeah. Well, I just wanted to mention that. Shout out to Santo FC, not having a great year. Middle of the pack, 22 games in.
On that, I don't like it.
What?
There's something weird about this.
I listen. If I hear any updates, we'll talk about it later. But this is just coming out, and it's kind of like it's kind of like rumored. There's not a lot of huge news sports outlets. They're kind of staying away from the story because it's getting rumored.
Neymar is not going to make an announcement, having a press conference.
Right, he has not publicly even confirmed it. Yeah.
Stuff the money in the hole, and he's gonna go ahead.
Maybe.
He doesn't seem like a good guy either.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
You might not disagree with me on that
actually,
one.
I don't necessarily disagree with that.
He doesn't seem like a good guy either.
I know enough about Neymar to question that as well. Question his integrity.
I'm a fair man. I'm a fair man, bro. I'm a fair man. But definitely, he doesn't seem like a good character guy.
A lot of footballers that the integrity is in question.
Messi, since he's gotten here and I've been able to he's been in Miami, the wage cheater, Orlando. Anyway, so you want to segue into that Kansas City, San Diego? You want me to go there?
All right, before we get into it, we're gonna break down the Kansas City Chiefs Chargers. Just give me a little prediction. We don't need to go heavy into the game. Obviously, game one, they're playing in Brazil, Sao Paulo. They're playing in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Who knows how they're going to adjust, things like that, play a different environment, a lot going on. You got guys.
3.5? 3.5, 2.5?
Kansas City minus 3.5. Yeah.
Okay.
Not much to see. Obviously, Kansas City, I expect them to have a good year. I also expect the Chargers to have a pretty good year, too. Gonna see if they, Chargers can hang with Kansas City in this one. But, Kansas City apparently has Los Angeles' number. They beat them 7 times straight in their history. But, it should be close. Game 1, who knows? A lot going on. You never know how this could swing. With that being said, I think Kansas City will find a way to win. Late field goal. They get a defensive stop to seal the deal. That's it. Let's just to give a prediction, Dub, I'll just say 27-24.
Sounds
Kansas
about
City.
right.
All right.
So, sounds about right. But you're right on the line again. You're not helping anyone. You back with 28-24. But no, Kansas City,
yeah.
right? Kansas City owns San Diego or Los Angeles Chargers. San Diego, I'm still saying that. The Los Angeles Chargers, Jim Harbaugh Chargers, Justin, the anointed one, Herbert, who's never done anything yet in this league. He made the playoffs last year, and they shit the bed. I mean, I could just take it right into the division. You want to do that? Right into the AFC West?
Sure. Before we go there, okay, I just want to
say about both of the teams. I can go right into it.
Before we go there, I just want to do a little promo for the show. Okay. Again, everybody, thank you for showing up as always. If you are you skipping a gun, Mr. What I call you, with your mouth vomit over there, man. Easy, baby. Let me get the stuff in. All right.
Some respect, Joe. Oh man, relax. Show some respect now.
I think you have a bad case of mouth vomit, sir. All right.
Yeah. Well, you're not perfect. You're not the best guy to work with all the time either. Sometimes.
Excuse me. All right.
We work with each other. We work with each other.
Let me talk half the time. Please, thank you again for showing up. We thank you as always. If you're watching us live with here today, or you're watching this in post, please like, comment, follow, and subscribe. All right, check out all the socials on all social media platforms now. All right, we got weekly content as always. Join us every Monday for Mental Mondays with Epis. All right, and go check out W's page on YouTube, W Dubois. Got an episode out there with the Cup. All right. Now, NFL predictions. We're going to give you our breakdown of the divisions. Try to keep it relatively quick. We got about a little over half an hour here, rest of the show. So we're just going to go over divisions, give our predictions for the records, talk a little bit about certain teams, and we'll give you a Super Bowl prediction at the end of it as well. Obviously, if you're watching this in post, this NFL predictions come in post opening night. So this is with the knowledge of Philadelphia winning 24-20 over Dallas. So, those we're factoring in that result to these predictions. So just to throw that out there for you guys. So, Dub, take it away. Any division you would like to, bro. You can start off too.
I'm going to start the AFC West because I want to talk about tonight's game. So I just do it in conjunction. Is that all right?
Absolutely.
All right, my man. So now, Chargers, Chiefs, Sao Paulo, Brazil. I was telling a lot of people, like Kansas City. Someone was talking. They were talking about. Just talk about the Texans real quick, that they're going to come up because they played well against Kansas City. Kansas City just wins football games. It's not pretty. That's what they're about. Like you said, 27-24, 27-25, whatever. It doesn't matter. They're going to try to have the ball at the end of the game, and that's what they've mastered, They're not a stat team. They're not an anything team. They're just interested in W's. So the Chargers might come out and do their thing, but ultimately I think Kansas City will get it done on the road. And down there in South America, rather, I should say. As far as the AFC West goes, Matt, Denver's really, really good. Their offensive line is really, really good, and they are the team that, if them could knock off the Chiefs, it would be them. So, but with that said, I've already, 11-6 to Kansas City. I think they're gonna do what it takes. I think they will have a little bit of the Super Bowl runner-up funk. I think everyone gets it. It's even though it's them and Mahomes, I think they'll have a little bit of that. So I'm gonna give them 11 wins, 11-6. Denver maybe the same or maybe a game less, but I just feel like Kansas City probably win the 2 games. Maybe they split, but Kansas City will win the division. Chargers, I don't like them, Matt. I think they're gonna fall backwards. Not enough to be as bad as the Raiders. The Raiders will be in last place. I will give them 5, and the Chargers 6 wins.
All right, so you got Broncos coming in. What was the Broncos record for you?
10-7. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go 11-6, and then go 12-5 for Kansas City.
Okay, so you're going 12-5 Kansas City and 11-6 for the Broncos. You said Raiders, Chargers in third?
6.
Chargers in third with 6 wins?
6-11, yes.
Okay.
And I'll give the Raiders. I changed my mind on that too. Give them 1 4. I like it. I mean, they got Geno's Geno's not going to turn the ball over. He finds ways to get W, so I'll give him the 5. You know, I just the Raiders are. Yes.
5 wins, 12 losses. Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. What did you have, by the way? I'm sorry for. Did you give a score prediction for tonight's game? I just wanted to get that Chiefs Chargers.
I feel like the same as you. I feel like the same as you, bro. I'm just gonna go on the other side of it, bro.
Okay.
28-24. Don't get bet on this game, guys. Don't bet the point spread. 28-24, man.
Chargers.
Don't blame him. Don't blame me.
Chargers, right? Chargers winning 28-24?
Yeah, no, Kansas City.
Oh,
Kansas City.
Okay, gotcha.
I just go to the other side of your hook. Same,
Okay, yeah, because it's minus 3.5. That's what you're saying.
Don't blame Matt. Don't blame me.
I mean, I think the bookies are good. You know, it's so crazy. You know, I mean, that's the nature of sports betting. Man, you know?
That's a textbook. Yeah. That's a textbook spread. Bro.
It really is. Yeah. It's just
3 points. 3 points, you want it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm 2.5. You want that 3? 3.5 is the worst thing ever. Go ahead.
Yeah, it'll kill you, right? All right. So we both got the Chiefs going tonight, so that's nothing new. We'll get if we have time, we'll get into some of the predictions over the weekend. You know, me and Double throw out there. We like to see, you know, maybe we'll do that.
You don't think we can do a Sunday? You don't think we can get a little quick Sunday? Like an hour?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying, you want more time on it? We could. But I would at least like to put the predictions out there. We could just go off the top. We don't have to get crazy, bro. Okay. You know, just run through the games and just pick it. So football Friday, we'll have it. This is a big prediction show. Right. So, you know, why not? Yeah. Listen, we'll do that. We'll keep track of our records. You know, we'll see who wins. We'll see who wins.
Best bet?
Yeah, what do you want to do? A little $50? A little $50?
No. We're just going to pick the games and keep our records.
No, not this weekend. I'm saying just for the year. We're not going to do like a regular season.
We'll pick a game. We can take a best bet every week. This game is my guaranteed cover. This week. And we'll do it every week. One game.
We'll have 18 of them. No, I'd like to pick a couple of games and go up against you. See who has the best.
How many games do you want to do? 3?
Yeah, because we can't do all of them. That'd be crazy. I mean, we could do all of them. You know.
I'm gonna do. All right. Instead of 1, we'll do 3.
3? Was 3 good?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, fine. We could do 3. That's enough.
Because after that, you're gonna exhaust yourself. You don't want to pick. You don't want to pick. You know, picking games. We're gonna find 3 games a week. You'll like this one.
You're right. So the Chiefs Chargers will be one of them since we already picked that. And then we'll give you guys 2 other predictions for the week. Yeah, and if we have time, we'll talk about some of the other matchups as well. All right. So my prediction for the AFC West, let me find it here for you. It's going to be similar. You know, listen. Kansas City is the team to beat.
I really like Bo Nix, bro. I really like him, bro.
You do too? Like I do too. You know, I do too. I think, you know, they have something there, but I don't think they're gonna, you know, top the, you know, Chiefs and what they're doing. Needless to say, I don't think you got the Chiefs at 12 wins. I don't think they'll get there quite yet, but I think they'll be as close. I have them at 11 wins, 6 losses. All right. They're a great team, not as good as they've been in the past. I don't know if they can get to a Super Bowl. I've been debating it back and forth. You know, I'll give you my Super Bowl prediction at the end of the show, but I just don't think it's there for them. But I think they'll be in the dance, man. I think they'll be, you know, they'll definitely be there in the playoffs. They're going to be a divisional winner. just for whatever reason, I don't think it's going to come to fruition for them again, Good team, but, you're seeing the end of the Kelsey era. I think this could be his last hurrah. I don't know. Now engaged with Swift. And I don't know what the rest of this team's going to look like, as I don't have faith that they're going to be as good. But again, what are we talking about here? 11 wins. They're still going to be a formidable team. You know what I'm saying? It's just I don't think they're going to get over that hump and get back to the big dance and do what they do. You got the Eagles, you got other teams, Baltimore that have really been knocking on the door, Bills, and who knows who else, that could really, get in there, that dance, So I just don't think it's going to be the year for them. But they're going to have a good, good regular season, no doubt. And the way the schedule, I looked at every single schedule of every single team. And this is how I came up with my numbers. And I just, schedule-wise, it fits this kind of season for them. All right, I could be wrong, maybe a little less, 10 wins instead of 11. But even 10 wins, as far as my prediction, going to win in the division. I got Broncos coming in second. I like the Broncos. 9-8, though. 9-8, it's okay, There's a lot of good, but that schedule is tough, man. If you look at it, there's a lot of tough teams in there,
They have the same schedule as Kansas City, yeah?
Yeah. No, very similar, obviously, divisional games. For sure.
No, the whole schedule is the same.
Okay, yeah. But, I do believe Kansas City's a better team, Obviously not much better. We're talking 2 wins. Hey, and I just said that could change, but I have Broncos coming in 9-8, and I think that's a good year for them, honestly. I think, anything more than that is super gravy for the Broncos, and if anything more than that, who knows? I don't know. Maybe they make some moves at the deadline, and, maybe this team could be a contender, come playoff time. I don't know. Maybe they sneak and steal a division from the Chiefs. I don't see that happening, but anything's possible. Chargers, they're going to be close, too. They're going to be in the dance. I think there's some winnable games on this schedule for them, but I got them at 8-9, coming in third. And the Raiders, I think I got the Raiders. Is it the Raiders? No, I think I have them as the second worst team in the NFL. I got them at 4 wins, 13 losses.
That's what I got.
I thought you gave them 5, bro. No? I think you gave them late. Yeah, you gave them 5, bro. You gave the Raiders 5.
I changed my. Yeah, you're right. I said let me give Gino one more. You're right. I said 4 and changed 5.
You gave 5. Right. So you got Broncos. That's interesting. You got the Broncos 11-6. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna get there.
Real quick, the Broncos. The reason I like them so much is because that offensive line. I'm a big guy, a trenches guy, and they have both sides of the football. And I love that. Right. I love that. When you have that offensive line, defensive line, you can really bully your way to victories. And you can bully good teams on the good nights, especially at home. They're going to they got that mile high advantage. I just, I think a little more than 8. I think they're way better than the Chargers. But all right. We'll see, Matt.
We just did the AFC West. Now moving on to the NFC West. All right, Dub, who you got there? Or would you like me to get going?
You go ahead on this one, Matt. I'll bounce off you on this one. I'll start from the Dub next.
All righty. So let me just pull up there in the notes, in the big notes. Where is it?
I already know what I got going on.
Okay.
I'm not going to change anything, but I'm definitely going to listen to you well.
NFC West, all right. Should be a good one. I think, I have 3 teams over 500 here. All right.
Solid division, man.
Solid division. Strong one indeed. But I think the 49ers come out on top. That I do. All right. I got them at 12 wins, 5 losses. I think this schedule is prime for them to have a good year. I think I have two wins in there that I think, I just give them the edge. I don't think they're necessarily favored, but I think they're going to have a good team. I think Purdy's going to have a resurgence type year. Obviously, hopefully, right. Obviously, hopefully staying healthy. But I think it's prime for them, especially with this schedule. I like it. And like you said, it's a packed division, no doubt. I could easily see the Rams switching things up and stealing this division from them. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Rams going to come in second, 10 wins, 7 losses. All right. I think that's a good year for the Rams. I think that's optimistic for them, honestly. 10 wins, 7 losses. 10 wins, 10 and 7. I don't know. I'm not feeling them excelling, especially past the 49ers here. I think they'll be, do I have them in the playoffs, the wild card for you? Yes, I do. I have them making the wild card, with the Packers as well. So they're going to be in the dance. They're going to be there, but I just think the 49ers are going to be better. So I'm, keeping the Rams at 10 and 7. Cardinals, 9 and 8. All right, I think that's good. I think that's a good year for the Cardinals.
Absolutely.
I think it's a tough division, like you said. I think I like the schedule for them. I think there's some winnable games in there, but I could be wrong. This could kind of quickly fall on their face. But I have some faith in that QB over there, and I think the Cardinals.
It's time for him.
Yeah, I do.
This is time, bro.
I do, and it's kind of put up a shut up now. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you on that. So we'll see. I think that it's a good year, 9 and 8, but I don't think that definitely.
I like it.
They don't
Big
think
balls,
they
man.
make the playoffs. They missed the playoffs based on the matchups. I got the Commanders over Arizona sneaking in with the same record, 9 and 8.
So
but I got the Commanders.
So far was Washington, the Rams. Those are your 2 wild cards you mentioned.
And I'll just give you the third right now before I forget. The Packers at 10 and 7. So that's a little preview. Okay. That's a little preview into my prediction there for the NFC North. But so I got those 3 teams in the NFC going in the wild card. And last but not least in the NFC West, I got the Seahawks, 7 wins, 10 losses. I think 7 wins is honestly,
that's a strong division, man.
I think that's a lot for them. They could probably give 5, 6 wins, but I'll say for the hell of it, I'll give them 7. I looked at the schedule. I think there's some games in there for them. Maybe I'm being a little too optimistic. Maybe the Seahawks ain't shit. Maybe they win 4 or 5 games. I don't know. But
Sam Darnold,
I'll give him a high 7 there. You know what I'm saying? Last couple of wins out to you, and I think it was really based on the schedule late in the last couple of weeks. I think there'll be some kind of games there where they'll just steal. The last 2 weeks they could steal a game or 2, just because teams not really fighting or in the hunt. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. That's the way I see it with the NFC West, bro. So I got the 49ers coming out on top. Rams in the wild card, NFC West. What do you got, bro?
Hey, thanks, Matt. Strong division, man. You gave a lot of wins out, but I think it's a sturdy division as well. Seattle. But, all right, I'm starting at the top. I was listening here. I feel like the same. But I do think the Rams have what it takes, and I do think they're going to win a division. I think they're going to go. They're going to pass the hell of the football. We've heard about Stafford and these back issues, but he's 38 years old. He doesn't need to dress until it's time to dress. Till the big show.
Yeah.
He doesn't have anything. He'll be fine. He'll be ready. And I think the Rams got a little. I think they're going to get 10 wins, and I think it's going to be one of those divisions. Like you had a little bit. I don't think 11 is going to get anyone 11. The 49ers. Man, the 49ers, Robert Saleh's return to his defense, his Super Bowl defense. There's only 2 guys left there from the team. Bosa and his running mate. What's my man's name, The other dude, Joe. I can't. You know what I'm talking about. I know. No, now McCaffrey's there. I'm talking about the other pass rusher. It's like Bosa's bookend.
Talking about Debo?
No. Debo's the receiver. I'm talking about the other pass rusher, the other defensive player. You're fan. I forgot his name, man. He's an all-pro guy. He's all-pro, man. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Yo, Gino's a Niner fan.
Bosa. You talking about Bosa?
Bosa?
Yeah,
Bosa.
yeah.
Then there's another guy. It's a black guy.
Bryce
Bosa's on one end. The other guy.
Bryce Huff. You got
Armstead.
Armstead?
We want to know now. We got to know now.
You got Armstead?
No.
Who are you talking about?
It's not Armstead.
You got Bryce Huff, Armstead, Bosa?
No. It's another guy. But anyway.
All right, I'll take a look at the roster. You let me know.
He's an all-pro guy. I can't think of his. I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, the 49ers, I just think they're going to – I don't trust McCaffrey. I got him in my fantasy draft. I'm scared to death of him. He's not. I feel like he's going to have issues all year. I know they've got other running backs and they got a committee. They have a strong committee that can help them. I don't trust the defense like we did years ago. I don't trust the defense. I think they have too many question marks, Matt. And I think it's going to have them in a place where they're fighting with the Cardinals for second place.
Yeah, real quick, by the way, bro. Mikhail Williams, Khalil Davis, Jordan Elliott, Nick Bosa, D. Winters, Fred Warner.
Fred Warner.
Fred Warner?
Fred Warner.
It's about the middle linebacker? Okay.
Yeah. My bad, yeah. I said he's a pass rusher. My bad. He's middle linebacker. Fred Warner.
Gotcha.
Fred Warner's the only, those guys have been there forever. Make a lot of money, and they've been able to, everyone else is gone.
Okay.
But I just don't think, I think they're going to take a setback. I know they were down last year. I think they're going to stay that way. Give me 8 wins for the 49ers, 8 and 9.
Wow, okay.
The Cardinals, I think the Cardinals will be 9 and 8.
Okay.
And I think Seattle, man, they are so, the Cardinals, man.
Oh, you got Cardinals coming in second, 9 and 8?
Yeah, 9 and 8.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I like their line, and I'm gonna put that pressure on myself with Kyler. Like, bro, when is it gonna happen? Because I've always liked him, but when is it gonna happen? And it's the same thing I feel about Trevor Lawrence, and I'm gonna talk about it with them later. What's up, bro? I'm riding with you. I think they get 9 and 8. I don't know. And the 49ers, I don't think anyone else makes the playoffs out the division. Just the division winner, though. Mm-hmm. Seattle. You want me to give you a number? I don't like the division. I think they're gonna struggle in the division. I'm gonna give you Seattle 5. I like the Raiders. So there's my NFC West. 11 and 7. Or as I say, 10 and 7, 9 and 8, 8 and 9, and 5 and 12.
Okay, there you go. All right, so that division looking a little different for us, too. You know, I have the 49ers coming out on top. You have them having a really bad year, falling back even more. 8 wins and 9 losses, falling to third. So that's going to be something to look out for. Cardinals take a bump up. And Rams, kind of status quo. You know,
Matty, Ayuk didn't even want to be there. It's like he just took the bread. I don't trust him. Debo's gone. Christian McCaffrey's a horse, but he's banged up. Yeah, I'm just scared, bro. I hope they play well because McCaffrey will play well, and I'll be able to defend my fantasy championship. But I don't like it.
Gotcha. All right, moving on to we just did now. That was the AFC West and NFC West. Going on to, I don't know, let's say this fun old good division.
Whatever you want, brother.
Let's do, we can do the South. I was going to say, let's get to the South.
Let's get them out.
AFC South. All right, I'll find that for you. I know you got to get out of here in about 16 minutes.
I really did my homework on that division, man.
The AFC South?
Yeah, man, I'm weird like that, yo. I like stuff that no one cares about. I like the places no one cares about.
You really did that because I wonder why, Mr. Tennessee Titan over there. Let me just guess. I'll just have to guess. You have them in last?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I was about to say I probably think you have them in first, but all right.
Maybe third. They both stink. Them and the Colts both stink.
So then you'll like what I got for you then.
Let's go.
I think honestly, this is the type of division that's up for grabs. When you're looking at the AFC South, I think, I don't think it's convincing that Texans come out of this. I don't either. I don't think. I guess you could say Titans, Colts, whatever. Shit, even Jacksonville can surprise you. I think. I think who knows with Trevor Lawrence? I'm still waiting for him to have that type of year. I don't know what they could look like. You got Cam Ward over there with Tennessee. Who knows? There's just, it's a lot of them to take. I don't like the Texans. That's basically what I'm saying. Is that I don't like the Texans.
I fucking deal you, bro.
Yeah.
For real. I don't trust them. They're getting anointed. But go ahead, Maddie.
And looking at the schedule, there's a lot of losses. But at the same time, this division is mediocre. I think they will win it, but by a very small margin. And I think they're going to win it. 9 wins, 8 losses. They'll come in first. I got the Titans right behind them at 8 wins. And this comes down to just the 2 matchups between them. Titans, Unfortunately, they go 1-1.
Listen, tickle me a little bit. Why do you like them so much?
I don't like the division for one, and I like the Titans' schedule. I think it favors them a little bit here, and I like the X Factor award, like you said, new coach. I think they could surprise you a little bit. I don't think they're terrible.
He looks like a winner. I think he's going to be a good pick.
I could be completely wrong about this, but when I'm looking at the schedule too, there's wins in there, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, it's not like. I view the Texans as this overwhelming favorite. I think the Titans could probably steal at least one from them, and they'll get some wins in the division as well. So it's around, man. The schedule, I think there's a window for it. I could be wrong, but Titans, it wasn't too far ago, a couple of years back, where they were a formidable team. I don't know if they're returning to that, but, do I have much faith in Jacksonville? Do I have much faith in the Colts? Hell no. With that being said, I think Jacksonville and the Colts could win some games, but I have both of them 7-10. Losing records 7-10. I'll probably be a little fortunate for them, giving them each 7 wins. I could see them being either 5-6 win team either, but I think it just lines up that way. It's going to be a tight, neck and neck division all year long. You'll see some names being teams being changed in the standings all throughout the year, injuries, whatever. There's going to be a lot of movement. This division might even come down to the very last week of the season. I'm saying most likely will. But I think the Texans find a way, and that's it. I don't think. Do I have? No, I don't. Which is interesting too. Because I have the Titans just one game out of making a wild card and missing the playoffs. But, I think, so it's tough. But I know it would have to swing their way in a big way, depending on the matchups, even if they were to get a 9-8 record with the way I have it sitting at. My AFC wild card.
Over under gotta be like 5 or 6 Tennessee's.
Yeah, they are low. Really they are low for sure. They are. Yeah, I think they'll be a good team. I am. Again, I think it's just looking at that schedule, but I have some faith in Cam Ward. We'll see. I could be wrong. I tell you what. My Jets don't do well with rookie quarterbacks, but maybe Tennessee will. You know what I'm saying? I think Ward can give you something, and I don't think it's a bad team or around them. We'll see. That's my take, bro. There it is, AFC South. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Wow.
You're welcome. You got something to look forward to as a Titan fan, man. Get hyped for it.
I'm not going to be as generous to them. So
that's okay. You should be hard on them.
Yeah. So now.
So I'm assuming you got Texans coming in first. No.
I don't, bro. You see me pumping my fist up when you start talking about them Jags. You're talking about them Jags, baby.
Jags.
New offensive system. They have one of the premier wide receivers in football, Brian Thomas Jr. Like super stud, real deal, second-year pro. Mm-hmm. Trevor, same thing like Kyler Murray. It's time, bro. I support you, bro. You even more than Kyler Murray, Trev. Yeah. You even more. You were like, Kyler Murray was doubted at least. He's a midget. You could say things about him. You were the guy coming out of Clemson. What's up? It's time. You have your running back there, Travis Etienne Jr., him too. Those guys were ripping shit apart in Clemson. You remember? Yeah. And they came to the NFL, was supposed to do damage, and they haven't done it yet. But they have a defense. They have Travis Hunter now, and he's going to be able to play kick returns and be all over. They're going to feature him in different places as the season goes on. He's going to start this week at wide receiver because they're banged up against the Colts. They got the Colts first, right? Or they got one of the division rivals first. But I really like them, man. I really like them a lot. As far as the Texans go, the way they played Kansas City last year and the referee game, many Kansas City referee games, but we're in a new year. The ref, they complained and they cried about the playoff loss. Whatever, bro. You guys are going to lose anyway. The Texans have all this talent. They got all these washed up running backs, but they got a lot of talent. But I don't like the fact that they lost Larry Tunsil. Stroud was going to get hit. He didn't look great his second year. We're not sold on him. Mm-hmm. Maybe some people are not. You didn't really mention him like that. You know, and if he was like that, you would have. Shit. The Texans. I still think they'll finish second.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna finish 9-8. This division's another one of those divisions, but I think those two bottom teams are gonna be really bad. Daniel Jones. You got what's my man name? The running back, Jonathan. Whatever. My old ass. Remember these guys anymore? But Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor. Good players. Daniel Jones. I think he's gonna. I don't know. There's something about the Colts. I think they're gonna be like a thorn in people's side, and they'll be able to play decent. But I think they're gonna win about 6 games. So we're gonna give them 6, and I'm gonna put Tennessee last. I think Tennessee's gonna win 4 football games. 4-13.
All right, so you got 4-13 for Tennessee. Jags were what? What did you have the Jags at?
I got the Jags at 10-7, win the division, and I got Texans at 8-9.
8-9, and then you got the Colts where? Third.
6-11.
6-11.
6-11.
Okay,
yes.
okay. Pretty good.
And I don't like just closing it out. As far as Tennessee goes, my one of my favorite teams. They have a good thing going on. They got a new coach. They got a new system. They got a good offensive-minded coach.
Mm-hmm.
They got a new quarterback. We like what we see, but that's the thing. Everything is new, and usually new teams don't come out the gates like that. I expect them to be good in the next. I expect this program to go places, but it's going to struggle in the first year. So I'm going to give them 4-13. I hope they prove me wrong. I would love that. Maybe I'm hedging them a little bit. I don't know subconsciously, but I don't like it. So that's what I got, Matt. AFC South.
All righty, moving on to. Well, we gotta hurry up a little bit. Let's try to. I know you're. Are you like super crunched?
110 won't kill me.
All right. Well, it's 12:53. So I wouldn't spend too much detail on each division. We still got a couple to go here. The NFC South.
The NFC East is going to be cake money. It's going to be cake. So, it's not up north and south. We already got that shit.
We do want to spend a little bit on, NFC East, AFC East, obviously, New York guys, we, talk a little bit Jets, Giants. A lot of high expectations in, New York media for both of those teams, going into this season. I don't know if I feel the same way, but we'll get to that in a little bit. NFC South, okay, real quick. Not much going on in this division.
Probably worst division in football, ladies and gentlemen. Really. Would you agree, Matt?
I agree because that's where I have it at. I have the Saints coming in with the worst record in football, 3-14. Coming in last place.
I seen his name. I was like, who is that guy? Because so I digress.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah. 3-14. They're lucky if they even get 3. I think I was actually being kind to them when looking back at the schedule. I think they really could be like 2-15. They're going to be 1-8, 1-9 to start off the year. Something like crazy stuff like that. So. It's not going to be a good start for them looking at that schedule. And I just don't see winnable games for them. And what are they? Really? I don't know. Like you said, who the hell is quarterback it anyway? It's almost like they're just an afterthought at this point. Panthers, third place, 5-12. Again, in a rebuild, what are they going to look like overall? I just don't see this being a good schedule for them. Atlanta, same thing, 6-11. Don't like them either. I'm saying, although I think they'll be a little bit better, than their counterparts. But
Michael Penix Jr. getting the ball, God bless him.
6-11. Tampa's been this team, man. Tampa's been this team. Even you go back to when Brady was with them. Ever since then, they've just been a formidable team. They, find ways to win. And honestly, Mayfield's done a great job over there, and I think they'll continue to do a good job. I don't know if they'll necessarily get to the number I'm finding them at, which is 10 wins, 7 losses, but I think they come away with the division. It's got to be at least 9 or 10 wins for them. I think those games are in there, considering the fact that, you got 6 games against your division in which, it's just not good teams. You got 6 games right there that win. What? They go 5-1? All right. Exactly.
The worst.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see how they don't win this division, and based on the schedule, it just lines up for them to win 10 games. So there you go. I think Tampa does it. With that being said, do they go deep in the playoffs? Hell no. I don't think they're a good playoff team in that sense. They might even be a first-round exit. Probably will be, in my opinion. But, they'll put up a good fight, I'm sure, as they always do. They're going to win some games, but I don't think they're going to be really in the contention conversation for them. So a good 10-7 year, but kind of an empty 10-7 year for them. That's my take on NFC South, bro.
Thanks, Matt. Okay, we'll go through it quickly, right? New Orleans, same thing, 3-14. After that, Atlanta.
Worst record for you too, yeah.
Yeah, Atlanta. Yes, I believe so. Yes, they're gonna have the worst record in the league. Atlanta, 3rd place. Rookie quarterback, new shit, everything. The same thing as Tennessee. 5 and. Well, I gave them 3 wins, Carolina I give them 6, Atlanta 6. 6 and 11. And then Carolina, I think Carolina is going to surprise. I think the quarterback is he played very well at the end of the year after he was left for dead 2 years ago for Andy Dalton, and everyone thought he was a bust. I think the young boys found himself. They have a lot of good young players, strong line. They're going to be able to protect him. Chuba Hubbard. And then they got another back. I think in that bad division, the Panthers will be able to win 9 games. 9 for the Carolina Panthers.
You got Panthers coming in first over the Bucks?
Oh, no. Hell no.
You got Bucks 10. 10 wins? What do you got?
No, 12.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shit, you got them at 12. Wow.
Well, they're going to feast on the division, like you said. They're going to win 5 games against the division.
That's asking a lot, though. They got to pick up a lot of the wins elsewhere, Maryland. Like you said.
I think they're good enough. I really like them. I think they're a problem. I think they're going to be better than last year. I think they're better than a first rounder, I think teams like the Rams, they're going to be the ones that get picked off in the first round. But the Bucks, if they win that division, they'll have a home game. So, they shouldn't be a first rounder, I think they're matchup problems for some of the better teams in the division, like Philly. I think they're a matchup problem for them. I didn't say they could beat them. I don't know. The Bucks, and then like you said, Baker's really got that thing about him, bro. He just got that win. He's a winner, yo. He's got it. He doesn't give a shit.
No doubt.
I really like that, and I think that's going to take him places that we wouldn't expect him to be at. And he's got it written all over him. So I like the Bucks. I like them to go deep in the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to go to the Super Bowl, bro, but they can. Yeah, they can. Probably not. I don't know, Phillies. But anyway, yeah, that's what I got for the division.
What do you got, Falcons? What's the number on the Falcons you got?
I gave them 6. Game 6. 6, 9, and 11. Or I gave them 12. I gave the Bucks 12. 6, 9, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. All multiples of 3.
Gotcha. Man, that's high on the Bucks there, man. That's big. Yeah.
I thought you were giving me about the Panthers. I thought you was going to really, the one you were going to trip about. You got the Bucks winning the division too, but by default more.
Yeah. I mean, again, because there's winnable games within that division, but I think the rest of their schedule is going to be tough for them. I'll give them some wins in there, but 10s. I don't see them winning 12 games. I think that's a pipe dream. But hey, man, that would be if they get to that type of level and Baker is moving, that defense is doing that thing. Maybe you're right. Maybe they can be a type contender.
Maybe. Why can't Baker Mayfield win an MVP award?
Yeah. Well, I think now would have to be the time. I don't know. I don't know if he has that in him. I don't know if he has that in him.
We will find out. But you didn't say he doesn't. You didn't say I'm not going to say he doesn't.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not writing him off.
You'll be like, hell no, right? If I said Sam Darnold or Gino's going to win it this year, you're like, no.
It would be very surprising, in the sense because of all the other candidates around the league and just wide receivers, running backs, QBs, just for him out of all people to win it. With that being said, yes. He has the ability, right? Like he has the ability's always been there, but small guy compared to others, but like I would think like a Jalen Hurts over him. I mean, you look what Hurts did in game one already. 2 freaking rushing touchdowns. I mean, these guys, you know. By the way, they were giving plus 150 as a profit boost on DraftKings last night for him to get a touchdown, you know, and he ends up getting 2 in the first half. Like, ridiculous.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah.
Tampa's got, outside the division, they got Miami, Jets, Patriots. You know what I'm saying? The whole division does. And then they got the NFC West.
Yeah, I like Miami though, and Patriots. Patriots are sneaky. I think Miami's gonna. Patriots could be sneaky. Patriots could be that team that's not relevant, but will screw you up. Just like what you call, like the Miami Marlins, you know, for the Mets, you know. It's that type of team. Smack you around when it doesn't matter for them, but it'll screw you up.
Yep. Beat you 3 out of 4.
All right, we'll save the East for the last. We'll go. What we do? We did the West. We did the South. Great North. All right. NFC North. It is. Let me find my projections on NFC North. Where is it? All right. NFC North. NFC North. All right. This is the one. This is the one.
An interesting division. This is a fascinating division.
I like this division. I do. I don't like the Bears, but I like the rest of the 3 teams. I like the Vikings, like the Packers, like Detroit. I think the Vikings are going to have just a slight fallback again. I think, you know, they missed their opportunity for their window. I think, last 2 years for them were really their time. I thought the window for them to win was right there. They think they're going to take a step back, mainly because, you know, after what Detroit did last year, I think they're still going to be good, still going to be a formidable team. And Packers, I mean, they clearly improved, right? The Micah Parsons trade, you know, I love what that QB's doing. I love what that team's doing. I think they're going to be better defensively, and I think they're going to surprise some names. And, you know, we'll see what happens with Parsons. There's a lot of question marks right now on his back, and I don't even know if he's going to be ready or playing, you know, fully for game 1. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. You like to think they have him for long term, especially after the extension, but you're hearing these issues with the back. So I don't know. With that being said, I still think they're going to be a good team, but I have them coming in second, 10 wins, 7 losses. Okay, I have Detroit just having a kick-ass year. I think the schedule's lined up for them that way. I think they're going to be good. What was the record last year? Do you remember they went 13 games last year in Detroit?
And they might have won 14-3, I think, man.
Was it 14-3?
15-2.
It was it? Yeah,
Remember,
yeah.
That division
really
went bonkers.
good. So I think they're going to take
14 last year.
Okay, so I think they get it right. I just don't see the Vikings being as good.
Yeah. That division was nuts last year. Nuts.
Yeah, I think it takes a step back. I still think it's a good division, but I just think overall in the NFC,
they can't match those numbers again. They can't
right, that's what I'm saying. I can't see that happening. And I think overall, I think the NFC got a little bit better.
Agreed.
So there's going to be, you're going to see that even out a little bit here in the North. But I still have Detroit coming out on top with 12 wins, 5 losses. Okay. So I still have to coming in. Packers, I think there's a little uncertainty there. There might be some issues with Parsons, right? As I said, well, especially getting off to the start of the season. Maybe he misses a game or 2 to the back. I don't know. Could affect them. Who knows? Maybe a little up and down with the quarterback play, but overall should be good. Packers, 10 wins, 7 losses. Vikings, 8-9. Bears, 5-12. The Bears. I don't think the Vikings are going to be as good. I just don't think. I'm low on them this year. I think they have a losing record. I think there's a lot of potential losses for them in this schedule. And they just take a step back. That's my belief on it. I could be wrong about it. That's just where I'm at with them.
I lost my brain by 8. My battery pack went out.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah.
Is that why you're a little dark now?
Yeah. My blooming light went out.
All right, so it's all good. Almost done. So that's my take, bro. I got Detroit coming out on top, and Detroit, man, I don't know. Do I got him in the big dance? We'll see. I'll let you know at the end. NFC North, what you got, though? We got 105 right away, brother. 105. We still got to hit the AFC.
I got Detroit taking a step back. I got but I was thinking about it hard, man. Green Bay, they have so many questions still, but I still think they're going to be good. But I got to give to Detroit. They've lost the 2 coaches, and you've pretty much showed us that in the way you've given 3 more losses. They lost the offensive defensive coordinator, but same thing with me. They're going to take a couple steps back, still in first place. I'm going to give them 12 wins like you did. Next up, Green Bay, 10-7. Next up, this is where it gets interesting. I don't like the Vikings at all. I think they're going to be in last place. I think the Bears they really spent a lot of money on the offensive line. They've never had a 4,000-yard passer in the history of the franchise, and I think this will change this year. They have put everything for Caleb to succeed. It's not saying they're going to go, but they're going to be better than Minnesota. I'm going to give the Bears 8 wins, and I'm going to give Minnesota 5. 5 and 12. I think Minnesota falls off. I don't
What'd you have for the Packers there?
10-7.
10-7. Okay. Yeah. Gino, sorry, man. I maybe you could call in after Dub leaves, if anything, if you really want to get something off your chest. But we're a little rushed. Dubby's got to get out of here a couple of minutes. So
curse Maddie out, Gino. Curse out Maddie.
That's all right. I mean, or I could, Gino, if you really want. What do you want to talk about, bro? Real quick, and just let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll bring you on. You could call in and we could talk a little bit about it here before we get out. I'm not like crunched for time right now or anything. All right, there you go. You got Dub, Lions. Me and him in lockstep with the Lions, 12-5. Packers 10-7 even. The difference is you got the Bears coming out, Vikings falling off hard.
Once again, the Vikings are gonna fall off. Once again, they overachieved last year. But the Bears, when does it happen, bro?
Yeah.
When are you guys gonna pass? They got all these receivers they acquired. They got a line now. They paid free agency. They don't want to hear it. Like Caleb, let's go.
Right.
Let's go. He was drilled last year. He didn't have a chance, that kid, behind that putrid 5 linemen, last year. And it's different this year. And the same thing with the Jets in New York. We'll talk about that in a bit.
I'm talking about that right now. So let's get into it as I know, W, got to get out of here. AFC East.
We still got the AFC North, too. Don't forget it. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am skipped, actually. You're right. Oh, yeah, we got to get to the North. Yeah, thank you. I apologize about that. All right. Yep. Good call. Good catch on that, sir.
You can't forget about the Steelers and the Bengals and them.
No, of course not. All right. AFC North. Just curious, do you have wild card predictions that you want to go over? Because I know I gave the people mine. I guess you could think about it. I mean, you gave the records, so based on the records, I could figure it out for the people. But, all right, AFC North, real quick. All right, I got Baltimore coming out on top. I don't think that's going out on a limb there.
How many?
I think Baltimore's that team, man. I think Baltimore's that team. I think they, I'll just say it right here. I think they're going to the Super Bowl. 13 wins, 4 losses for them. Not only do I think they're going, but I think they're going to win it. I think it's their time. Yeah. As much as I look at some other teams, but I just think it's their time. It's prime for it. I don't, even if Philly were to contend with them or whatever, and they get there too, I just think Baltimore going to find a way. They're a damn good team, and Jackson's got to prove it. I'm going out on a limb. This is it for him. Solidify that legacy, and he's done everything else. You know what I'm saying? So this is it. And in terms of division, it's not even a contest, honestly. I think it's Cincinnati. I don't think they're going to be good. 9 wins, 8 losses. I just, I don't know, man. For some reason, I'm losing faith in this team and Burrow itself. I think, he's talented in a lot of ways, but I think this team is flawed, and they've shown it in the past. I just don't see it based on the schedule. I just don't see them getting a lot of wins here. I think they kind of fortunate to reach that 9-8 record. Maybe they could surprise me a little bit, get 10 wins. I don't see any more from them. Steelers, I don't like the Steelers. I don't know why people so high on them. Because it ain't Aaron Rodgers for me. If anything, it's outside of Aaron Rodgers that you're looking at this team defensively. Can the steel curtain do its thing? Sure. But I don't think Rodgers is going to be good. He doesn't look good to me. I don't see where people are finding these wins for this team. And he looks slow and old.
We need to kick their ass in week 1.
Honestly, I don't even know. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets lose to the Steelers in week 1. I agree with you. I really do believe the Jets got to win this game, and they have to. Like, it's a winnable game. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's some like low-scoring, stupid affair, like 17-14, and the Steelers find a way to win. Or a 21-17, and the Knicks offense just looks ugh.
Right.
And the Knicks offense, Jets offense looks like just bland. Same thing with the Steelers. That's not giving them too much credit. It's going 21 points. Okay, whatever. Could be a freaking pick six. Could be this fumble recovery puts them in good position. It's like it might be a sloppy game 1, but Pittsburgh finds a way. I don't think they're going to be a good team. I'm sorry. I don't have faith in Rodgers. They need, I don't even know why they signed him. I really don't. I think just much like the Jets last year, at least, with the Jets, with Rodgers before the injury, there was a lot of optimism. He looked good. But after the injury, man, he looked like he lost 5 steps. And I've seen him in practice. He does not look good, does not look fast. They know what he's about already. As good as he is, the IQ, the whole 9, I just don't see it. And he's going to put a strain on this defense. That's the problem. This offense, I don't think is going to be able to move the way they want it to. And I think it's going to put a strain on the defense ultimately and just screw them up down the line. So 5-12 probably gave them too much time to talk about. Browns 3-14. They're going to tie the record for the worst in the league.
Trash.
Trash. Yeah, right. And I think Browns, they had no shot coming out the gate. The first 4 games are against top tier teams, all of them. So they're just going to get punched in the mouth.
They're going to turn to the Shador Sanders.
I see Shador coming.
Reality show by week 8 when we're going to be screaming.
And why not, actually? Why not? And I think, actually, Shador is going to put up some numbers and be sort of, depending on how many games he gets, could be in contention for Rookie of the Year. I'm going to throw that out on a limb. All right, I like the Rookie of the Year for Shador Sanders only because this team's going to be absolute garbage. Basura. All right, so there you go. There's my AFC North, bro. Keep it going, Dub. I know we're a little past your time. I apologize.
Okay, I'm just sending a message. At AFC North, right?
Yeah.
Tell him go home after work. Okay. Yeah. So the after school, the AFC North, Baltimore, obviously, and like you said, they're going to go to Super Bowl, in my opinion. It's their time. I just, Buffalo, Kansas City, and then also ran the 4th team, the 4th dark horse. They're not going to be enough. I think Baltimore's going to get it done. They're going to take it all the way to Super Bowl 40, whatever, 50,
you think
whatever
so
we're in
too?
now.
Are we picking the same Super Bowl winner? We both got the Ravens?
You got both. I don't know if they're going to, I don't know yet about that, but they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I got to think about it. But I think, honestly, I just, But so I agree with you in Cincinnati as well, bro. So hyped up. They remind me of the Texans a little bit. They beat Kansas City 5 years ago. People are still living off of that. They have this high octane offense, and that's cool, but we know that doesn't get it done in the NFL. That's
defensively Swiss cheese. Yeah.
Cheese. They gave your man all that money, Hendrickson, but one guy like that, they're cheese. They're Swiss cheese. They're gonna be shootouts. I don't like it. I don't like it. 8 wins. Fun to watch. 8 wins. Great matchup Sunday night. Oh, the Bengals are on against Baltimore. Let's turn it on.
Yeah, they're a sexy draw, but the record-wise,
41. If they're going to lose, they're going to ask what they're
41.
41-38, right? They'll lose. They'll lose Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, I think Pittsburgh's better than them. Pittsburgh standard 9-8. And they're going to be like, this guy doesn't win enough games, but he never loses. We're stuck with him. Same shit. I think Tomlin has enough control where he can let Favre just, Brett will listen to him. Just be the quarterback. I'm Brett Favre. I always do that.
Brett Favre. Right. He basically is Brett Favre at this point.
He is, yeah. Without stealing the school
By the way,
money.
did you hear about Brett Favre? I believe battling Parkinson's, I believe it was. Just recently announced that. Yeah, the guy can't even swallow anymore. He's all fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Baltimore,
Yeah,
how
man.
many
We
wins
all
for
gotta pay the
Baltimore?
piper. 13. 13-4.
Okay, so you got them
13
same
and
thing.
4.
Yeah.
9-8.
Brownies?
Pittsburgh 9-8. Cincinnati
8-9.
9-8. 9-8.
You going 9-8 too? Okay.
I'll give them one more, but not gonna make the playoffs. And the Brownies, oh my God. I like the tight end and Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Bad football team. And they obviously don't know what they're doing. Just drafting the 2 quarterbacks. Just off of that, I'm gonna give them the Saints. I gave them 3. I'm gonna give them 4. 4 wins. Okay.
All right, brother. Yep, looking like we're in lockstep there in that division. You got Steelers a little bit more wins than I do. I have no faith. I think it's just gonna put a strain on their defense, and something's gonna happen. There's been too much drama with Rodgers over the years. I think they're just gonna get into it at some point. He's gonna disagree. Something's gonna go wrong. It's been a little bit too quiet on the Steeler front, maybe because we don't just hear about it anymore. But I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like that fit for them. It didn't make sense. I think Rodgers needs to go off into the sunset at this point. But one last hurrah for him. Maybe he could show the world, that he's still effective. I don't know. And then AFC East. AFC East, NFC East. Let's go NFC. NFC East. Ba-ba-da-ba. All right, we're breaking it down. NFC East, AFC East. Thank you for joining us today, whether you're watching us live or you're watching us in post. Keep showing up, as always. Epis Radio, episode 35, the NFL Prediction Show. All right, kicking off the first Football Friday in the best way we know how, giving you all our predictions about the season going forward. All right, last segment of the day, and then we're going to get out of here. Let Dubby go. Thank you for hanging with us, Dub. NFC East. I'll break it down. Listen, much like we just talked about with Baltimore, I don't really think there's much question here. We seen it last night. Although I don't know, I don't know if Philly's as good as they were last year. I think they're good. They pretty much brought back everybody, but they lost some pieces.
How you gonna be as good as last year, bro?
Right. I mean, they were phenomenal. And it is super dominant.
They're really the hunted now. No way they're gonna be bad. It's good. Washington's better, but
you have all these pieces still. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you see Hurts doing his thing, seeing Barkley doing his thing. They're already both of them off to a phenomenal start, and Hurts off to an MVP start. They get the win, although albeit tight. I know Mother Nature came into play, and that kind of stunted both offenses last night. But you've seen it already. Dallas was walking on them defensively. They would do. I don't know if maybe that had to do with Carter getting ejected, and we'll see in week 2 in Carter's return how that translates. I don't know who they're going up against in week 2, so that matters as well. But we'll see if this defense is going to be what it was last year. I don't think it will be. Hard to duplicate. They were the best defense in all of baseball in all of football last year. I'm getting my freaking sports messed up over here. Too much on the mind. The best defense last year and one of the most explosive offense, if not the best, right? So I just don't see them being as good. With that being said, I don't see them being that bad either. They're already off to a 1-0 start after last night. I got 12 wins from 12-5. Okay. Little bit of a downgrade from last year, right, Dub? What they get last year? 13, 14 wins as well?
You talking about Washington?
No, Philly, yeah.
14, I believe.
Right? So,
they were right below the D.
Right, so two less.
No pun intended. I said no pun intended. Jesus Christ. Go ahead.
2 less losses, wins this year. Still a great year. I think easily win the division. Commanders are going to be breathing down their neck. They're going to be, giving them some hard times. But ultimately, I think, Commanders, as good as I like them, and I don't see it. I'm looking at the schedule, and it's going to be tough to find some wins in there. Like I said, I think the NFC got better, and I think it's going to reflect. So I'm giving Washington 9 wins, 8 losses. All right. Do I have Washington making the wild card? What did I say before on that? Yes, I do. So I do think the Commanders get in 9-8 as the last wild card in the NFC. So they'll get in. It's going to be close. I got the Cowboys right behind them, just falling to the wayside. And after a loss last night, these are the games that matter. That's a winnable game for Dallas. You know, you only gave up 3 in the second half, and if you find a way to lose this game, that's a problem. Typical Dallas. Honestly, you know, it's no surprise. And that's what they're going to be. They're going to be pretty much 500 football. 8 wins, 9 losses. That's it. A losing record for them. I don't know where it goes for Jerry Jones and this Dallas team or Dak and whatever. I think they continue to fall. I think they need to move on from the regime. We talked about that on previous show. Didn't know if that happens. But this is what we're getting right now, you know. I know the whole Parsons thing is kind of turning out a little different, especially with the whole injury thing. You know, maybe it was a smart move on the Cowboys' part. We'll see. But could pay off for them in the long run. But right now, it's not, paying off in any way, shape, or form for them. Giants, man, listen, I think Dart's going to be the QB by the end of the year. Honestly, I guess Wilson, but we know what we're getting in Wilson. Let's act like this is, some resurgence. I think overall, the team as a whole will be better. They got some nice pieces, draft some pieces, things like that. Coaching, I like the coaching staff. I think it's going to be formidable, but I don't see a lot of wins in the schedule for them. I just don't. I'm sorry. NFC is pretty good. They're not one of those good teams. 5 wins, 12 losses for the Giants. Better luck next year. Better luck next year, Giants fans. I don't know. It's kind of. Here we go again. You know what I'm saying? That's what I got for them.
Jackson Dart era. We're gonna just start the Jackson Dart era. They're rebuilding.
Right. It's a rebuild. So I don't see the 5-12 doesn't hurt me for them.
They're rebuilding.
Yeah.
They're rebuilding. Yeah. The coach has been there forever, and he's been building. I don't know what he got going on, but he's always gonna be in a hot spot. But I guess you want me to go ahead, Maddie?
Sure, you got it. Go. Yeah, NFCs, baby.
Yeah, I'll start with the Giants at the bottom. The Giants will be last place. But I think I'll give them another win from Maddie, 6-11.
Okay.
You have a lot of talent there. Neighbors look like a player. You got what's his name? Thibodeau. You got now you got the new Pat kid, what's his name? Abdul Carter. Yeah. And then
Carter.
They're good. Yeah. He's gonna be a good player.
I can see that 6-11. I can see that. That's realistic for them. I don't think anything more than that. Anything more than that is a good freaking year.
7 would be great. Yeah, 7 would be great.
They could get 8-9. They could get 8-9, maybe surprisingly 9-8, and maybe squeak a playoff.
That means the Cowboys would win 5 games.
Right? Exactly. You're asking a lot. Yeah, you're asking a lot. Yeah.
But I think the Cowboys still have that talent that we talk about. They're talented and all. They're going to win 9 games regardless. Maybe 10,
So
maybe 10.
9-8, yeah.
It's a very good division. Yeah, it's a very good division. Washington, there's no way we can't give them the same amount of wins this year. You have to. We saw Dane Daniels. We talked about him. You know how we felt about him. We were amazing last year with him. And he's an MVP candidate this year. We don't think he's going to get it, but he's an MVP candidate. He's just all world. And, they have Deebo Samuel now. They can do so many things with those two. They have a good running game. They have a good line, but they're just not good enough to win a division. But they will make the playoffs. We'll give them 11, 10, and 6.
You got hold on. You got 11 and 6 for Commanders?
11, Cowboys 10.
And what you got Philly?
Right. Philly's gonna win 13.
Okay. So you got them 13 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. That's interesting. I don't see the command. I think they're gonna fall back a little bit for the Commanders, but
they won last year. 11.
Is that what they got last year? I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm asking this one. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know that. 11 or 12.
Last year.
It was 11. Pretty sure it was 11.
No, actually 12 and 5. Yeah, Eagles went 14 and 3. They were 12 and 5. Commanders, yeah. All right.
11 is a step back, I guess. 11 is a step back, right?
You remember they went on that amazing streak. They went on 5 straight win streak to end the year. So
They
went from
overachieved a little bit.
7-5 to 12-5. They really surprised a lot of people. They went on a nice run. I just don't see it for them. But hey, I still got them in the playoffs. So sneaking in as a wild card, you definitely got them as a wild card favorite. I think based on your records, you have them as number 1 wild card. So there's that for them. I don't see if they get to that number, but I wouldn't be surprised. You're right. Like, there was a lot of spark out of that team. You're right. Forget about Debo.
I got them with a better record than Green Bay. You're 100% right.
Yeah. So I think your Commanders would be that number 1 for you, for the wild card, if I'm looking at the numbers correctly there. So, all right, interestingly enough, you give the Giants a little bit more, 1 more than me. Cowboys, we agree, man. 1 game difference there as well.
They're a good football team, man.
They're good. I think they're better offensively this year. I think they're gonna show you. I think they'll have a resurgence a bit offensively. But the problem,
running backs, they could interchange them, and
the problem is defensively. It's hard to be better in the absence of Parsons. Could they be? But literally they lose Parsons and they're bringing two young guys to slot right into that role. That's really tough. You're going from all-time talent, all-league talent to 2 young guys just slotting right. 1 veteran and then 1 rookie, slotting into that position. So that's tough, man. That's going to be hard. Them, you're not going to get anywhere near as much production. And then it takes the load. It puts the load on more guys throughout the defense. So we'll see, man. We'll see how it translates.
I'm gonna give you this AFC East, and I'm gonna go, brother.
All right, baby. Give it to me. Give it to me.
You ready?
Go. You got it.
About the Patriots, how sneaky they were, and I love that because they really are. But I don't think they're going to win 8 games like a lot of people think.
Okay.
But we're gonna start at the bottom. Miami Dolphins. Tyreek Hill. It's this cloud over the organization that I don't like, and I really feel like they're gonna hit a wall this year.
Okay.
I'm not saying, but I didn't even put it on Tyreek Hill, but just all of it, bro. The coach is weird. They're just weird. The owner.
Down to the coach.
The owner. It's just. I don't like the Dolphins this year at all. I think they're gonna have an awful season. I think they're gonna win 5 games.
Okay.
And by default, the Jets and the Patriots will be having a higher amount of wins because the Dolphins are so bad. The Jets, I really love the Jets' offensive line. They really revamped it and got it real better. I think it's going to give Justin Fields an opportunity. A lot of people don't know Justin Fields was a passing quarterback in college, and he threw to Garrett Wilson. I think he's going to have the best year of his career this year. And he's still going to be able to run the football.
Everybody's saying that he's going to have to rely on his feet in order to be effective. But you're saying he's going to be effective with the arm.
He's going to be able to throw the football to his guy, bro.
So what record you got for them?
Oh, yeah, right. The defense is still good. Okay? Sauce has got to scrap people up. Please, Sauce. Anyway, with that said, yes. And he's the kind of guy who's going to get money and didn't want to prove himself, though. He seems like. Okay, some guys say, thanks for the money, and they go home, and then the other guys, I'm going to show you, you got different guys. Record, Jets, 8-9.
That would be amazing.
Patriots, 9-8.
Okay.
No, 9-8 Patriots. Wow. And Buffalo, I think Buffalo's going to take a step back. 11 wins, but they're going to still be in the mix. They're still going to be in Kansas City and Baltimore's face, and they're still going to be relevant. Yeah.
Okay. All right, brother, man. I know you got to get out of here.
I ain't going to cut short and leave right away before you wrap it up. Hopefully, Gino calls you and you stretch this out some more.
Absolutely. I think I'm stretch it a little bit more myself. Yeah. All right, man.
It's a lot to talk about, man. Hold it down for the guys, man. For the gang, you heard?
Well, I'll talk to you. Have a beautiful day, all right? Have fun out there, and do your thing.
Got a long one, bro. UCF against North Carolina A&T.
Nice.
But in 2 weeks, we will have the real North Carolina. We'll have Belichick coming in on the 20th.
Nice. Yes. Yeah, we got to talk about that. We got to get some live coverage from you down there. All right. All right, bro.
All right, sound like plan, man. Yeah. That's a good idea. Jordan Hudson.
You gotta track it down for us. All right, bro. Have a beautiful day. Keep on showing up as always, man.
Great show, man. Great show. We did a lot of shit in there. A lot of stuff in there.
All right, bro.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody. See you guys later.
All right, that's W. Dubois getting out of here for the people. He just gave us his final prediction for the AFC East. I know we had to rush through some of those segments due to a little time constraint for Dub, but I appreciate him going a little past his time for us. I'll give you mine. AFC East, and now there's no rush on this. I can take my sweet time on this a little bit. And of course, why not? It's fitting because it's the division in which my beloved New York Jets is a part of. And listen, as much as I like what they're doing, who knows what's going to take place with Glenn this year and the new regime, everything you hear in just, we moved on from Rodgers and that was necessary, and they kind of gave him the ultimatum, pushed him out, the whole nine. Like I said, revamp the offensive line a little bit. That defense should be good. At least it should be better than it has. And I think it was so terrible in years past because of the lack of offense, the inability to move the ball and stay on the field and hold possession and do what you have to do. When you guys are going 3 and out, turning this ball over to this ball, you can't get into a flow game. It puts a lot of strain on your defense, and it's just something that's going to be a detriment to your overall performance. It's much like what I alluded to about the Pittsburgh Steelers early on in the show. I think you're going to see a similar situation there in Pittsburgh. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to be able to move the offense in which they want to, with Rodgers. Certainly not Rodgers. Maybe if Rodgers takes a step back and, or gets hurt, something like that, maybe they bring in the backup and maybe they can move the ball to what they are more fitted to what they wanted to do. But I just don't have any faith there. I think it's going to be put a lot of strain on that defense, and it's going to reflect in the standings for them. Same thing with the Jets. I just don't see it, man. I think, will they be better? Yes. What was their record last year for everybody? Let me just pull that up real quick because, sure. How could you be worse than last year? I mean, hard to duplicate that, right? They were 5-12 last year. At least they weren't in last place. The Patriots were 4-13. We thought they were going to be a little bit better, but they fell off. With that being said, 5-12 is not very good. Do I think they get a little bit better? I do. I think Justin Fields is an improvement. This is a formidable quarterback. I think if the guy can stay healthy, like W was saying, I think he could do well through the air. I think he could also do well with the legs, which I'd like to see. If I think the Jets have always been that type of pound and ground, ground and pound type game. You know what I'm saying? We've never had a real quarterback to get it through the air and do those things and move it. You go back to the days of freaking name it, the whole nine, saying, let's see if they could do that. Let's see if they can really get behind their line and run the ball. You got Breece Hall. He's one of the greatest, running backs in the game when healthy, when he stays on the field. Learn how to utilize these guys. You got some good weapons, offensive weapons, whether it be the wide receivers, the tight ends. You got some pieces there, all right? Utilize them. I'm expecting a big improvement for Wilson this year. Find a way to target this guy, on the defensive side of things. You got Sauce. He's got to put up or shut up. They give him this contract. They give Wilson the contract. They pay both of these guys, and they've done very little, and now's the time to do it. Obviously, we're hearing about the Vera Tucker injury, so that's a huge blow to them to start off the season, so that hurts. It's going to be hard right off the bat. You're dealing with that. It's going to be interesting to see how that reflects on Sunday against the Steelers. But I digress. I do think they'll be a better team. I have them at 8 wins, 9 losses. I think that's a good year for the Jets. I think that's a step in the right direction. Based on my numbers, that just misses the wild card, right? Let me check right here real quick. And that misses the wild card by 1 game. Now, I think it would be kind of a tie-break situation for them, even if they got to that 9-8, because I have all 3 AFC wild card teams. I got Dolphins 9-8. That's a dead giveaway to who I think is going to win this AFC East. I got Cincinnati 9-8, and I got the Broncos 9-8. Those are my AFC wild card teams. So the Jets, one game out of that in terms of whether the tiebreak would fall like that. But hey, one game out. It's a 3-win improvement for them on the year. It's a step in the right direction. Hopefully, just overall, the numbers better. The offense is better. The defense is better. And now you can start to really look towards next year or the year after and say, hey, man, we're the New York Jets. We're coming. We got something cooking. Hopefully, we're not having a quarterback controversy conversation next year. That, we need to move on for Fields. What if they have, a 7-10 year, a 6-11 year, a 5-12 year, and it's just the offense isn't moving. It's kind of more of the same. Here we go again, right? Now it's the quarterback carousel all over again. Hopefully that's not the case. Maybe it is. But right now, my prediction is I got them 8-9. In terms of this Game 1 matchup against the Steelers, I'll look real quick. Just want to see who's favored for this one. It's on CBS. Why don't I have a line on this? What's the odds? Okay, yeah. ESPN Analytics matchup predictor. Yeah, it's having Pittsburgh -2.5. That to me is a pick'em game. I'm looking at it like it's almost a pick'em game. I guess if 2.5 to the Steelers, all right, fine. That sounds about right. I said it before. I think it'll be relatively low scoring, maybe a 21-17 Steelers, 17-14 if you're going by the -2.5 spread. I think that'd be a great pick. 17-14 Steeler win. I just don't see it. Maybe 24-21, 27-21. Steelers get some scoring in this game. The over-under is 37.5. So they really, truly, they don't expect this team to score, both teams to score very much. So I like the 21-14. That's 35. That under is looking damn good, honestly, in my opinion, for that 37.5. So, but that's what I'm going with. I'm going Steelers will win it. Final score. Yeah, all right, I'll say it. 21-17 Pittsburgh for Sunday. I didn't get W's other picks, but I will get them privately. We gave one of our predictions for this weekend. We'll see if we could get a show in before the games on Sunday, and we'll give you our picks of the week. We'll pick 3 games each week. I know we picked one already. We mentioned earlier in the show. That's the Kansas City game tonight. Chargers going at it. Yeah, but that's where it at. I just don't see it for them. 8-9. I think that's a good year for the Jetsies. Patriots, real quick. Slight improvement, but not much of an improvement. 6-11. One more game for them this year. I don't know if that's necessarily a step in the right direction. It's just how the schedule falls for them. I don't have much confidence in this quarterback carousel that they got going on, and the coaching. I just don't see where the moves that they made in the offseason, I don't see it elevating them to a winner, or even elevating them in the standings in this division. So 6-11 for them. Dolphins, I think the Dolphins, they're going to be a team that competes. They're going to be a team that gets in your face. I know people are not, necessarily high in them. They think they're kind of on the downtrend. You heard it from W before. He doesn't have much faith on that QB. I know Tua, the concussion history, the injury proneness of him, the whole organization down to the coach, his quirkiness. I like the coach. I still think he's a great football mind. For whatever reason, it didn't work out for them last year. I think they have a bit of a resurgence, for them this year, but not much. 9-8. I have the Dolphins. I have them being one of the wild card teams to get in. All my wild card teams in the AFC are 9-8. So Dolphins, Cincinnati, Broncos, real even keel AFC this year. I think it's outside of the top tier teams. The Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City. You got the Bills. Those types of teams. I really think it's really even keel around the rest of the league. I don't see any, there's a wide gap between the top AFC teams and the rest of the pack. And I just think you'll see that. I think Baltimore is in that whole different range, for them. So I don't know, man. I just, that's where I think, it lies, for that division. Like I said, in terms of the AFC, I think Kansas City is not as good. I think, Baltimore is ultimately going to come out on top. Man, that's the team, I have. I don't have faith in the Texans. I think the Chiefs are going to be good. It's probably going to come down Chiefs, probably going to come down to the Chiefs and Baltimore in that AFC championship game. But I think Baltimore gets the best of them. I do. I think the Bills probably fall off. You'll see them again first round or second round exit this year in the playoffs. But I think Baltimore gets the dance, and I think Baltimore wins it all. And, just for the Bills, I'll give you the record to finalize the AFC East predictions. Bills, they're going to be good. They're clearly the best in the division, 12-5, but I just don't think it's enough to get them. I think that, they'll have one more better win in Kansas City, but I don't know. I think they lose to either team depending on how it falls. They lose to either Kansas City or Baltimore. And before the championship round, and that's it, and that's it for Bills again, falling up short. I think, it seems to me like they find ways to lose. Maybe better luck, when they move into their new stadium, and things get going there. So, we'll see. In terms of, and that wraps it up. That wraps it up in terms of all the divisions. So, definitely go back, check, if you want, check back early in the show. Been doing our predictions for about an hour and a half now. So, long show, a lot to talk about in terms of the NFL predictions. I know we talked about the Pablo Torre situation with Kawhi Leonard at the top of the show, so go back, check that out if you're interested as well. Gino, I don't know if you're still around with us, my man, but, if you did want to call in, this is your last chance to do so. If you wanted to talk about something else. If not, bro, see if you're available. We'll try to get a show in for Sunday morning or maybe Sunday midday as the games are going on. I'm not really sure yet. I got to talk with Dub about that. I do have 20 miles that I got to run on Sunday. So I gotta get prepared for that. I guess I gotta get out early if I want to get in the show and watch and get it in before the 1 o'clock games on Sunday before my Jets go. So I gotta get my 20 miles in before that. For my NFC team, in terms of getting the Super Bowl, I'll give you my Super Bowl prediction and we'll get dubs later. I already gave you the Baltimore. I think they'll be that team indeed. I just, that's how I'm looking at it. I think they're the best team in all of football. I think they're going to win. It's fitting. It's been kind of like that. It's not always the case where the best team wins it, but I think this year it will be. Baltimore, 13 wins, 4 losses. I think they're going to just cruise and do their thing. Well, not necessarily cruise. I think the AFC Championship will be a tough one against the Chiefs again. But I think, that's it. And be a last 2 raw for Kelsey. Fall 1 game short. And Baltimore, I just think it's their time, man. I don't know. I've been debating back whether it's going to be Philly, Detroit, I don't know, maybe a sneaky Tampa Bay team that gets there, Wouldn't that be something if Dub's prediction comes right? Tampa wins, what they said, I think he said 12 wins and, finds a way to sneak in there and get to a Super Bowl. I don't think they'll win it, but that would be interesting. I almost like that as a prediction. I almost like that as, as a wild card Super Bowl attendee. I don't think Tampa would win it, but it's an interesting one. At the same time, this probably should be NFC, the 49ers. I think, I'm giving them 12 wins this year, and they're going to be good, Do they have enough to beat them? I don't know. I think 49ers probably get to the NFC Championship game. But I don't know. I don't know if I could quite get there. You know what, though? I'll give it to them. I'll give it to the 49ers. I think they have a resurgence. I think Philly gets to the NFC Championship, so it'll be Philly and 49ers in the NFC Championship, but I think 49ers edge them slightly, and no back-to-back for the Philadelphia Eagles, and 49ers are back in the dance, but I do think they will fall short to the Baltimore Ravens. So there you go. There's my Super Bowl prediction. Doesn't seem like Gino was able to join us today. Sorry, Gino. I know you were trying to get on the show earlier. We're trying to get through the predictions, so I'll have to take a rain check with you, my brother. And there you go, man. There's our NFL predictions for 2025. We will check back at the end of the year how our predictions played out. I have it all here in the trusty, handy-dandy notebook. All right, so we got Dubs. We'll get Dubs. I have his wild card, actually. I just have to crunch the numbers on it and see exactly how it aligns up for him. And we'll get his Super Bowl prediction this weekend when we do another show. Other news around sports, real quick. Caitlin Clark out for the season, WNBA. That's kind of a tough blow for them. I don't know if the Fever were going to be, the team to really get to the dance for the WNBA, but they were definitely contending. They were definitely one of the great teams to watch, obviously. And Clark had that team moving in the right direction along with their other teammates. But I think they're a bit of like one or two pieces away. And I just didn't see them getting to the finals this year for them. But they're going to be, hopefully she can rest up, get back ready for next year. And, maybe they do get one or two big pieces in the free agency that can elevate them to that finals appearance. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out with them. But tough blow for the Fever this year. Angel Reese making headlines again while we're on the subject of WNBA. She apologized to her team at Chicago Sky. She criticized the franchise, for not getting good enough players, kind of demanding that they do better and that they do more going forward. Big time knock on a franchise that you play for. Obviously not something that you want to hear from one of your polarizing players, especially as outspoken as and especially so much being in the limelight that she is, that that you say these types of remarks, and rightfully so. You're gonna get a lot of lashback. You're gonna get a lot of feedback in a negative way towards you. And it's just not, I know they're having a down year. They're just not a good team. I get it. And she's, whether you want to say she's stat padding, this and that, she's definitely had a good stretch of games, a lot of double-doubles, doing her thing, putting up some great numbers, some all-time numbers for the Chicago Sky and, in the WNBA overall as a whole, as a history. But you just can't say certain things, man, and to talk about, the team in which that employs you, and you're trying to advocate getting so much money, things like that. It's a bad look. It's not good. I understand why she's saying it. I get it, and there's truth in it. There's truth in it. You want to get better as a team. You want to, you're not going to settle for a terribly losing record. I don't know what the Chicago Sky record is, but it ain't good. It's bottom of the pack. All right. Needless to say, sometimes it's just better not to say anything. And I think in this instance for her, it's one of those times. You got to chill out. You got to, just hold back and, all right, maybe swallow my tongue a little bit here, okay? What else going on? Oh, Julius Randle, since we're on the subject of basketball as well. This is a good one. I'll play this one for you guys. For my Knicks fans out there, and for the, just the overall, basketball fans out there. Julius Randle, long-time Knick, changed the culture over there in New York. He recently came out and spoke, and it was an interview. He speaks about him and his battle with smoking marijuana and how it affects his, apparently, according to him, he says that it affected his time spent with his kids and his family and his wife, and how it left him not being present, and it was played a big role, a big distraction in his play and his time here in New York. Great material for Stephen A, as he is the lay off the weed advocate, always against smoking marijuana. All right. I on the other hand, I've been a big advocate for marijuana, but there's some truth to what Mr. Julius Randle is saying here. Listen, I have nothing wrong with marijuana. I think it should be legalized. I think everybody should have the ability to partake in said marijuana. When you have a job to do, with that being said, there's certain responsibilities. There's certain things that you need to refrain from doing, and if it's affecting your job, if it's affecting your at-home and personal life, then that's something that you need to tackle. That's something that you need to address, and that you cannot take lightly. And in this recent interview that Julius Randle did, he speaks on how it affects his home life and his work life, and how going to Minnesota and changing his ways has matured him to a certain level, and has just been overall for the betterment. He did put up some pretty good numbers this year. I wouldn't necessarily say it elevated his game to another level. I didn't really see that. I don't think the numbers really quite reflect that. But, if it makes him feel better, and it makes, he says it just has improved his overall life, then hey man, more power to you. I'm happy that you made that change. I'm happy that you did that thing. I think, it does kind of depict marijuana in a more negative life. But again, to each his own. Everything in moderation, certainly. The same can be said for alcohol use. It's moderation, but you can't be smoking and drinking. I know people, that go to their jobs, first thing in the morning, smoking blunt and just blasted. Working in healthcare, construction jobs, whatever, in any type of corporate facet in this world. Guys that are doing what we do on here, streaming, guys on radio. Not everybody for sure, but there are some functional abusers out there. I don't want to, and that go, with alcohol, weed, other types of drugs as well. I've always been the type where I will never, go to work high. I don't, that is just not something I want to do. I like doing it, not okay. It's just not okay. I know people that, like, driving high and things like that, and just doing other activities in which you should not be doing. Not okay. If it's going to affect you down to a certain level, it's going to affect you with your wife, your kids. I understand the not being present part for sure. Marijuana can easily have that effect on you. Any type of substance you're using, whether it be marijuana, alcohol, it's going to have an inherent effect on you. It's going to alter the way you think. It's going to alter how you navigate through your day, your daily life. You know what I'm saying? So if that's something you could wait till, your recreational time, in Julius Randle's case, after the game, night's coming to an end, you smoke a little bowl and do whatever, you smoke a J blunt, whatever it is, he like doing, popping edible, okay, cool. But, it seems to me, based on, what Randle's saying, that, he's probably doing it all types of hours throughout the day. Probably, I could see, for most athletes, it becomes sort of like a pain management type thing. So you got a lot of these guys are banged up, 82-game season, a lot going on, a lot of practice, a lot of traveling, lack of sleep, what have you. You might rely on a certain substance or two to, help aid in that, and it's not surprising in any way, shape, or form, especially with Julius Randle spending time in New York, it becoming legal in New York. Now, I forget, based on the timeline on which Randle left, how long weed was even legalized. I know it was decriminalized for quite a while, so he was probably out openly doing his thing, or just, doing it to a point where it wasn't necessarily a concern legally, or with the New York State in terms of, his employer. Because even, for us in New York, they had stopped testing for marijuana in the urine test for quite some time in the corporate sector. So here it is. Without further ado, I know I talked a lot there. So here's the video of Mr. Randle talking about that. Get his pretty face up there for you guys.
Be angry or upset or, have, temperament or whatever it is where I would just react and, kind of like black out, like those things don't happen, nearly as much. So I think I'm a lot more zen than I used to be.
Should I stop smoking marijuana or not? We did that one.
That was a big one.
And I'm like, yes. But you said yes. Yeah. I think even one time you said this stuff steals my soul.
It's definitely tough in today's world, but I think it's so important to have a clear mind and being able to be strong mentally and independent mentally without anything influencing you as far as, substance or voice or whatever, like, being able to sort your own thoughts out. And, we talked about the, like, be angry or upset or, have, temperament or whatever it is where I would just react and, kind of like black out, like those things don't happen, nearly as much. So I think I'm a lot more zen than I used to be.
Should I stop smoking?
That's a great point from Julius there, just about being more present, having less temperament, and just having good judgment, having, a clear mind of things. No doubt about it, long-term use of marijuana is just going to cloud your mind a little bit. I've been a long-time user myself. First time I ever smoked weed was when I was 13 years old. And, to this present day, I'm still smoking weed. But over the years, I like to take my breaks every now and then. I've definitely lessened my usage over the years. For like the past, I would say 10 years, I have gone from a big jump until how I used to do it. Probably take even more. Like about like the 10 to 15 years, that 12, 13 year mark. There's a stark contrast from how I used to smoke to what I do now, and in terms of my volume and my intake and things like that. And there's reasons why. Julius Randle was just pointing to. And I love that interview, by the way. He's coming on with this doctor. I don't know on what show this is, but it's in Change Your Brain Every Day with I don't have the doctor's name there. Pretty cool interview. If you can find that, check that out. And good on Julius for speaking out and being vocal about that. Again, I don't think he's necessarily blaming the weed, but in terms of him and his ability, definitely he feels like he was able to process things improperly and just be more in touch with his emotions off of it. And I mean, hard to argue that anytime you're taking any type of substance, it's only going to alter your mood, how you perceive things, and that's why, again, I don't necessarily, I'm clearly not against it as an active user myself, but everything in moderation. You have to know when it is affecting your job, your personal life, and credit to Julius Randle for speaking out about that. But yeah, not like necessarily the thing that Knicks fans want to hear. in his absence of like, man, look, you were just, getting high over here, not doing what you're supposed to do. I could see the Knicks fans turning that on him. Just another reason to hate Julius Randle. But I give him a lot of praise. Give him a lot of praise for speaking about that and just talking on that. Like, that's good for him, man. Good for him. Other stuff. Let's see. Okay. Well, I don't want to go too much more. There's so much more to talk about. I could continue to go forever. We didn't even touch on baseball today. The Mets calling up Brandon Sproat. Yankees been doing their thing against Houston, although they got a little shafted the other night. Williams had a little blow up in the 8th inning again. Cam, the rookie pitcher that they got for the Yankees, Cam, looks great. It might be the reason why the Yankees actually might propel themselves to another huge postseason run this year. They're clearly showing you that they can compete against these top-tier teams in the American League, but we'll see. We'll see if it continues for them. What else? Do I have any huge... Oh, well, right, yeah. Big football show. We didn't even get a chance to talk about that. This is before the whole Bill Belichick game, but man, I watched Bill's first game for UNC, and boy, oh boy, that goes south real quick. And Billy's good 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, was on the sidelines to make sure that he was okay towards halfway point mark of this game, because boy, oh boy, they just got ransacked in this game. Did not look good for them. I'll show you the video of Jordan Hudson there. She is over here with Bill. Didn't seem like in this clip that he wanted to talk too much. Look at that outfit she's got on. A nice I forget what you call plaid pants, something like that. The bell-bottom type pants over there. Man, oh man, I feel bad for Bill a little bit, man. I don't know, he took this upon himself and it just didn't work out. It has been a bad showing. I don't remember the exact number in that game. I tuned off late in the fourth quarter there because it was just just not even competitive. It was a TCU, I guess they went up against, right? And I don't know much about college football, but TCU, a good team, and they killed them. And UNC's really not been that type of team over the years, if at all ever, to be a formidable collegiate team, football team. But Bill trying to resurrect that franchise and make something of it, and so far off to a horrendous start. So, not looking good for good old Bill down there. And that's about it. That's about all I have for you. Again, I keep on going. I have some other storylines for you, but Boston Red Sox lose Roman Anthony, which is going to severely affect the Red Sox for the remainder of the season. Left oblique strain for him, 46 weeks. Without Roman Anthony, I don't know if the Red Sox are the Red Sox. This lineup is not going to move the same way. Since his appearance, they've been a different team, and in his absence, I can only imagine they will not be as good. And now they're going to miss him 4 to 6 weeks, so now this is spilling into the postseason now. Who knows if he'll be able to get right in time, maybe for American League championship. Who knows? Like, I don't see it. It's a big blow for Boston that's had such a great year. And now the Yankees are kind of peaking at the right time. And Boston's going to take a seat back, I think, with this Roman Anthony injury. Just a brutal blow to them as we get into the thick of September here. And, maybe they can find a way to battle through it. They're going to have to. But tough blow for them. All right, folks. I think I'm going to leave it on that note. We did have an update. I'm going to save that one for you guys later. But we did have an update for Dan Rivera. Okay. On how he died. The autopsy is out there. Spoiler alert, it's cardiac issues. But the Annabelle doll was not present at the time. He was not in the room when he at the time of his demise. Me and Dub will get into it. That's a fun little topic that we like to talk about. Again, rest in peace, Dan Rivera. All right, the keeper of the Annabelle doll. Okay, join us. Hopefully this Sunday. I'll get a show in somewhere. I'm just not sure about the time yet. All right, so thank you for everybody watching this. Please like, comment, follow, subscribe, keep the notifications on. All right, comment in the comments. Let me know what you think. Give us your predictions of this year's NFL regular season, how you think things are going to play out. Give us your Super Bowl predictions. We want to hear it all. All right, here on Epis Radio. We appreciate you showing up today. Long show today. 3-hour show today. There's not many of these 3-hour shows. So this is definitely one of the longest we've gone before. I think we did maybe 2 other 3-hour shows. So thank you for showing up. As always, it's your boy Matty B, Epis Radio. All right, episode 35, the NFL prediction show. It's been a beautiful one. All right, thank you for showing up. As always, and I'll see you soon. Have a beautiful Friday night. A happy Football Friday to you. Enjoy your weekend. We'll touch base. And if you're not able to join us this Sunday, join us on Mondays with the Mental Mondays with Epis. Can't wait to be returning for that as well. All right. Let's go Kansas City. Hopefully they find a way to win down in Brazil. Shout out Brazil. All right. Keep showing up, everybody. Until next time. Your boy, Matty B, Epis Sports Radio.
I've been known to play mine to a T, but it's time for me to lead, picking dirt right out the cleats. Steep path, roadblocks in the streets, trying to knock me off my feet, cause the devil never sleeps. So I don't sleep too, and trying to breach safes that I didn't have the keys to. We all been victims of trauma we ain't agreed to, but the sun comes after, starting up a new chapter.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back and focus on what's in front of me. Everybody dates a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company.
Hey. All right, everybody. Hope you have a beautiful weekend. Thanks for showing up. As always, your boy Matty B, Epis Sports Radio.